Episode 1 review, book versus show. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, HBO Max's attempt. Welcome back to a Spork of Ice and Fire, the channel where books come first, the text comes second, and the adaptations answer for every choice it makes. We're going to hold them to it. Tonight, we're doing a full beat-for-beat breakdown of episode 1 of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, HBO's adaptation of George R. R. Martin's tale of Duncan Egg, and beginning with The Hedge Knight, the first novella, if you will. This episode aired Sunday, January 18th at 10 p.m., and it immediately signals a different kind of Westeros story. No dragons, no councils, no Iron Throne, just mud, grief, hunger, and a man who may or may not be a knight. Everything we discuss tonight will be anchored directly to George R. R. Martin's published texts with chapter-level citations, so we're clear where the show follows the book and where it steps away. We will definitely focus on the show, but we'll also fall back to, and I'll have page numbers too, to the paperback and to Kindle, because I made sure AI told me the Kindle one. I went in there and said, hey, reference this for me, Kindle. So we're going to start by introducing the beautiful panel for tonight. A friend who we haven't seen in a while, Miss Martin Muses. How are you?
Hello. So good to be here. So good to be back. Yes, I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you back because it's so much fun when it's something that's show/book that people that like, you read the novellas though, correct?
Correct. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we read the novellas, but our next friend, Tina Bojans, bad takes, has not. She read how many pages?
I think I made it to somewhere between 20 and 25. So.
Okay, so like the first episode should almost cover that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But after that, you'll be kind of our show only person until the season's over, at least, right?
Absolutely.
Sweet. So I'm going to start with you, Tina, and then I'm going to go to you, Teresa. Tina, what were your takeaways for the first episode? Kind of generic. Pros, cons, what would you give it at a scale of, I don't know, 5? I'm trying to think of something that sounds good for Game of Thrones, and I probably should have thought of it
5
before.
flaming sporks?
No, I was thinking like, what would Hot Pie make? Something Hot Pie made, like those direwolf breads. 5 direwolf breads out of 5. What would you give it? 5 being the best.
I'd say that it was a very solid, 3.5 to 4. I did very much enjoy it. There were a couple of questions I had that we can get into later and see how they followed up to the book. But I loved the actors.
Yeah,
they were great.
Awesome. All right, and Teresa, 5 direwolf breads.
Oh, 4.5 for sure. Nearly 5. There's one reason why I wouldn't have given it 5. And I'll talk about that in a second. But overall, it was great. And I'm so excited to finally be able to watch an adaptation of a show for the first time in years, I think, where I'm like, oh my gosh, they did it well. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say, I was really impressed with episode 1, House of the Dragon, but yet Duncan Egg definitely jumped the levels beyond that. I think they did such a good way of introducing Dunk.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I feel like we got to know who Dunk was. And we'll get into that. I give it a 4.25 direwolf breads. And I think the reason I want to give it a 5 is for the opening scene. You have like drama, and then you had, well, we'll get into it. Hold on. We'll just start. So I just want to emphasize some quotes from chapter 1, page 3 of The Hedge Knight. If you have a Kindle, it's 55. Sir Arlen of Pennytree was dead. He had been a knight, and Dunk had been his squire. A hedge knight must hold fast to his honor, else what is he? That's from page 7. Now we look at the series opening exactly where the novellas open, after death. Sir Arlen of Pennytree is already gone. In chapter 1 of the Hedge Knight, Dunk buries Sir Arlen beneath an elm tree, marking the grave with Arlen's shield, Arlen's sword, and a quiet, like crushing realization that he is now alone in the world. Then he takes back the sword, the shield, and everything else. But the show reproduces this almost shot for shot. The isolation, the rain, the silence. What did you take away from that, Teresa? Because you read the book too.
Oh yeah, I just geeked out like you wouldn't believe it. Like the grayness of it, and well, there was a little bit of sunlight, and he's carrying the old man and bringing him to the grave. I mean, well, for one thing, I just got done actually on my channel doing a chapter or page by page thing of this. So I had it just so stuck in my brain, and I almost wanted to cry. And I was so surprised by the actor that played Dunk because, okay, he physically looked like Dunk, but was he able to be Dunk? And I felt like right away, that is Dunk. He's clumsy. They allowed him to keep his Western Cork or Galway, I don't know, somewhere up there, Irish accent. Yeah, they didn't even try to make him do that Northern English accent that they usually do. And just blew me away. But of course, I have a problem though.
Okay.
With that opening scene.
Oh, we'll get to it. We will get to that part.
Okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. All right.
So in that opening scene, you have Dunk speaking words. And in the book, Dunk briefly considers, what happened. He has like an inner monologue going on. And we actually, I love how we saw it instead of heard it in a way.
Yeah.
How he, hit him. He only hit me when I deserved it. And he shows like the first two, he's like muddy in one. That third one, he has started a forest fire or something. And then that last one where he's like, but I didn't steal the widow's bread. And he hits him so hard, his head goes off the beam, and it was just like, oh my God, we're seeing Dunk's, we're seeing his visions of his memories. And I thought that was a really good way of doing it. And it gives us a little more because in my head, I imagine, this old knight, I thought he was only in his 50s, early 50s, maybe. They made him look like he was 70 something. And they do that with the shows. But you imagine how he hits him. But in that, I mean, he cold cuts him. He
clocks him.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of make it akin to medieval times. So I mean, 50 would be ancient.
Yeah. Life was hard.
So
you would look 70 something.
As I'm on the cusp of my 55th birthday, it's horrible to even say things like
I'm with you. Put it this way.
But
I told you already. I blew out my back a week ago today. I could barely walk. I have a heating pad with a hiking stick that collapses and stuff because I'm not going to use a cane. And I turned 50 on Thursday. So this is how I'm going into my 50th birthday like a cripple. So yay, old people. But no, what did you like most about that? Not just the Tina, not just the whole burial scene. Let's go before the sun comes out. Let's just the rain portion where I have to say for myself, I wasn't prepared for the actor to be Dunk in my head. Do you understand what I mean? He was Dunk, the way he tried to hold himself together, the way he spoke. I think you put that perfectly, Teresa, his accent or whatever you want to call that. It's flea bottom. That's what flea bottom sounded to me. And they did it perfectly. What did you think, Tina?
I thought that that the actor was absolutely amazing because if I remember correctly, he's a former rugby player. He's not a classically trained actor, so I was impressed with that. I didn't read enough of the book to know if Dunk truly is that kind of clumsy or green, so to speak. I mean, because he had obviously had squired for the knight for a very long time, but you could tell from this scene that he was truly not really prepared in a sense to be alone. Because he really wasn't sure of his place in the world. Because now that
Yeah.
he's not Sir Arlen Squire, what is he?
Yeah.
What does he do with his life?
One thing I picked up, I don't know if anybody who read the book picked it up too. There's a moment in the book where Dunk is contemplating for a second to rob him, like his corpse, take stuff off the corpse. And you almost, I feel like they did it visually. Like he's like looking at the body and he kind of does a motion in and then backs himself up. And it caught me to think, oh, that's that moment where he doesn't say anything, but like he expresses it through his conveying of his emotions and his acting. I thought it was, I have to say, for an opening scene with the rain, it was perfect for any book purist. I thought it was as good as they can do on TV. It's like episode 1 Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was thinking in the back of my head through this whole episode that Ira something or other, who is the showrunner, was totally sucking up to George R. R. Martin with this. He's like, see, I'm not like that douchebag Ryan Condal. I'm going to adapt it. I'm going to do it properly. I'm going to do everything you wanted and everything you dreamed, Martin.
And he did. He did for the most
did.
part. And one of the best parts was, okay, sun comes up. He's under the tree. He's contemplating what he's going to do, right? And then all of a sudden, like, he's talking about, and I feel like in that moment we find out he was not knighted. Okay, people, everyone who believes, at least show canon, he was not knighted. Okay, because in the book, it's still, people are still fighting. I don't think he was knighted ever. I think that's the beauty of it. He is not knighted in the way people recognize a knight, but he lives by the knight's code. So what really makes a knight? I think that's the whole idea of Duncan Egg. Like what truly makes you a knight? And they pretty much tell you he's not knighted. He talks about, going to King's Landing to work for the guard. I'm blanking, not the King's
Guard.
Guard.
Watch, you mean?
The Night's Watch. He's like, hey, stop graping her. Like,
not the Night's Watch, the golden cloaks or whatever. Yeah, because the Night's Watch.
Yeah. That's way cool.
He didn't need to go north to the wall. He wasn't crook yet.
Yeah,
that's right. He did specifically say King's Landing.
Yeah.
My question is did you get the impression based on his conversation a little bit later on that his name isn't even Duncan because somebody said Duncan? There's like, oh yeah, that's what Duncan means.
Yeah, it was Egg who says that at the end. He's like, what's your name? Dunk? That doesn't sound, is it short for Dunk? Was it Egg? Or was it?
No, I thought it was the guy,
Lionel?
the master of the games or whatever that he went up to talk to.
No, I don't even
providing his information.
I don't remember from the show. I think in the book it was Egg, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was Egg. It was someone at the very end that said it. And then he goes, okay, Sir Duncan what? Sir Duncan. And then he says the Tall. So yeah, it was Egg who said it. But so he's considering what to do. And then, he's looking at this sword, realizing he has these horses, he has the armor, he has the shield. I'm gonna be a knight. And the trolling bit, which was freaking weird but phenomenal, was they start playing the theme song from a Game of Thrones / House of the Dragon, and then it turns into him literally shooting, like he looked like a gerbil, like shooting pellets out his ass. Like that poor guy's been eating some rough stuff. He needs some fiber.
He's been to Taco Bell.
Yeah. Liam says,
I literally said to my husband, who wasn't even washing in the room, going, tell me something by not telling me something. It was just exactly what I said.
Like he literally shit on the like House of the Dragon. That's what I took it as.
Yeah, and maybe Game of Thrones too. D&D.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Because it was his way of saying this is not another one of these stories. Okay, this is not going to be it's going to be faithful, but it's not going to be like what they did. Because House of the Dragon, we all assumed was going to have like, what's the new theme song? And they tweaked it like a hair, but like it was nothing different. This to me was a blatant, like, we are doing something completely different with the show. And it got me right there. I was like, okay, this show is mine. I'm watching this.
Yeah,
it was good.
My opinion, though, of that even though as we're talking about it, yeah, it's cool. I wasn't happy with it because it broke the fourth wall. We did
Yeah.
not to be taken out of it
Uh,
was so moving. It was shot for shot. And he's like, I'm gonna go to the
Yep.
turret. He's got it. And then boom, it's like you're watching a YouTube video and they
Yeah.
just flash something on. You know how people will do that. They'll do a little clip of something.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't like it. I wanted to stay in this world.
I get that. And for a second, I agreed with you because he's looked directly into the camera. And then all of a sudden he's looking at that bird. And I was like, okay,
Mhm.
they're letting us know without trying to break it too. I agree with you. They definitely broke the fourth wall. But I think I needed that.
Okay.
Like as a fan of like the canon and the book material, and nothing has stuck to it since season like 4 of Game of Thrones. I am like grateful they did that in a way. But I could see how it could take somebody else out. So question for the chat, poop or not to poop? What is your decision? So
Damn it.
but what's your verdict on the opening? Faithful? I thought it was faithful,
Mhm.
you know, to structure and theme of the book. And instead of internal dialogue, we got like flashbacks, which were kind of cool. So I gave it a thumbs up. Teresa?
Oh, yeah. If we pretend that didn't happen, like
Yeah.
if they could go back after a YouTube video way you can on a live stream and cut out that, like
Yeah.
from here on out, now that we've gotten the joke, yes, I wanted to stay in that world. And even the Robin, again, all of those details were just fantastic, but son of a bitch,
Mhm.
beyond that. But after it, we got back into the world, and I hope they stay there.
Yeah. No, good point. Good point. What about you, Tina?
From the beginning of the story that I did read, I thought that it was faithful, and I think I got more out of it seeing
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Okay.
there were a lot of details that I didn't remember, and I think I read, like, the first 20 pages probably 3 or 4 months ago.
So it was kind of nice to have that moment.
Mhm.
Like it was nice to watch. I wanted him to have longer hair. Like that was my one complaint. Because like Dunk has like kind of like a mullet thing going on almost. But I want to
Well, I
say
did
hello
like
to,
the fact that his haircut was very rough, though.
yeah.
It
Definitely
wasn't,
dirty and
yeah. Mhm.
but Liam's in the chat, Levin Alpha, Sunny Frank, Christy was here earlier, so that's pretty cool. I haven't seen her in a
Ooh.
while. 11 Alpha says, strange, I had the opposite take. To me, it was HBO saying, ha, you thought this was a more uplifting story than the rest of the Song of Ice and Fire universe, but this is HBO. We do blood and poop and boobs. Yeah, but it's not. It's not a more uplifting. Like it's more based to me in reality. Like it's an ugly, grimy. Think about what happens, way down the line to one of the most important characters. I mean, it changes history, and it's not
Mhm.
pretty. So I disagree, but I see. Oh, thank God, Grant will be here in 15 minutes. I miss you, buddy. I see what you're saying, but I have a different take on that. Liam says not a fan of the poop scene, and the Baby Ruth scene in Caddyshack is my all-time favorite comedy scene. One of the classics. One of the classics. But we're gonna get into like the second scene, which I would say was I knighted type thing. So in the novella, Dunk's defining uncertainly. I don't know. He like it appears almost immediately. He's like, was he truly a knight? Like in his head, if
Mhm.
no one saw it done, was I truly a knight? If no one saw it done, so in the book you get that moment where it's like, wait a minute, is he saying this like as a if no one saw it done? I mean, am I truly a knight, or like was he knighted but no one saw it done? Like, so I don't know where he was going in the book. I felt like we had in that scene, he wasn't knighted. So Martin deliberately leaves the knighting off page. We never see Sir Arlen raise the sword. We only have Dunk's word and Dunk's doubt. The show preserves this, I guess, ambiguity by having Dunk rehearse his identity out loud. Sir Duncan the Tall, knight. Like he says it at the end and stuff, or I'm Sir Dunk. Dunk. Yeah, I'm a knight. But does he believe it yet? I don't know. And in Westeros, belief is everything. Really, it is.
Yeah.
from
Good.
from the book, he says, chapter 1, page 9, did that make him a knight? Dunk was not certain. And then page 11, Sir Arlen had said the words, and that ought to be enough. Ought it? So like, I'm starting like it always flip flop. I always flip flop. I don't know if he said the words. Does that make him a knight? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, now that I'm looking at it, because I always felt like he had so much doubt that literally he's such a literalist that maybe it hadn't happened. But I'm looking here now at the book to where you were just saying that,
Yeah.
because like if it's not witnessed, is it truly so? Well, wouldn't the gods be the witness to that? As God is my witness kind of a situation, or is
Right.
the god?
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
That is, that's interesting.
Because he
But
has
then
7 witnesses.
Yeah, definitely. And the bird. But then he
that's
goes
true.
like, I forgot about this and I wrote it down because I was shocked because I always argue with Grant about this. Was he knighted or not? Grant says he is. I said he isn't. But chapter 1, page 11 on the paperback, or if you're on a Kindle, 230, Sir Arlen had said the words, and that ought to be enough. It kind of caught me off guard.
Hmm.
I think that's I don't remember those words, and I think that it is an important distinction because that conversation with the master of the games or whatever his title was, and talking about the Ehrlich chair or whatever the name of the town that they're currently at the tourney at, but telling the story about what happens to people who they find out aren't really a knight,
Right.
and their
Right. That
punishment.
was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was actually
So I
hilarious.
really thought that was like, okay, he definitely wasn't knighted then,
Right. The guy starts
because he
laughing.
was worried.
That was freaking awesome. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, I told you, Scotty. Oh, Kirsty Angel's here. She says Dunk parallels Pinocchio, long wooden finger as his sword at puppet show, wanting to be a real knight, real boy,
Oh.
naive as in tree, green men. Oh, she's going for it. Arlen, excuse me, Penny Tree represents wishes and lying about knighthood. You always go so deep. I don't know where to go with you. So I love it though. But on screen, the scene, probably should have told that part first. I jumped like ahead. The scene opens with Dunk alone. Okay, we already skipped that part. Sorry. We see Dunk hesitate, restart, and correct himself. Small physical tells that communicate he's uncertain. Like, is he or isn't he a knight? The camera lingers on the sword, the scabbard, and Dunk's hands, which is kind of cool visually, like reinforcing like he's the claim that I am a knight, entirely rests on my belief. And I love that. Like, I kind of love that idea. I forgot I wrote that down and I thought that was cool to say. So I'm saying it, but like you felt it and it was pretty cool. But there is no flashback to the knighting if anybody hasn't watched it. So it lets us silently work that out throughout the episode, which is kind of cool. So next, I
Is
feel
he
like
truly clumsy in the book? I mean,
yeah. He
Yeah.
dunked
wasn't
the
sure
lunk.
if he was
Dunk the
okay.
lunk.
I wasn't sure if that was the case, because were they just trying to make him seem very, very green and unsure of himself, or was he truly the knock his head into the wall multiple times or doorway multiple times kind of scenario?
Yeah. See, I'm with, I'm sorry. I totally blanked on what I was going to say. Sorry, Tina. Just
That's fine.
blanked on what I was going to respond to you with. But let's just say, Marby Dog, how you doing, buddy? I agreed. Gurm left it ambiguous, but he alludes that Dunk was knighted based on what I just read. True. And Liam says not a knight, but the point of the story is that he eventually earns proving Sir Arlen true that Hedge Knights are the truest knights. See, I love that too. The Laughing Storm was great. House Baratheon is my house. Victor, how you doing, man? I agree. I agree. He says, Victor, the Dunk probably lied about being knighted. I think that's the only lie Dunk tells in the whole damn novellas, is that he was knighted. Like, that is the one. I still don't believe it, but that's just me. let's see, what is like the next scene? So we didn't get which kind of changes. He gets into camp. We see him in camp. He's riding through, he's looking at the different attractions, gets himself like a drink or something. And he goes to try to see, oh my God, I just blanked on his name. No, I'm sorry. He goes to see the games keeper, correct?
Mhm.
He finds out he has to go to the games keeper, but we get to see like him going through, seeing the jousting arena being set up, knights practicing, all this stuff. And I thought it was pretty interesting, like seeing what I've read kind of come to life, but not to the, like I expected more tents and colors and flags and things like that. I don't know about you guys.
I got the impression that perhaps Dunk had not attended many tourneys prior to
Right.
this because he seemed to be like, oh shit, these guys are like beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I think it was unusual for somebody to get the crap kicked out of them like that at practice by their own relative. That's one thing. I'm trying to remember the exact order it went in. Did that happen before he went to the gamekeeper? When the Fossaways, right? The Fossaways, the Apple guys, he was beating the crap out of his cousin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just
In
beating
the
the
book
crap
or
out
in the show?
in the book. I can't remember.
Well, I know that he was beating the shit out of him in the book.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Raymond was like, "Yeah, you go beat him up." But I think it was after that because it's confusing now because in the book, of course,
Yeah.
well, wait a second. Because I think that the show did this in order where he goes to the stable, right?
Oh yeah, what am I talking about? I missed that whole part.
I was
He went
about
through
ready to say, that's why I'm getting a
I'm
little
so
confused.
sorry.
It's like,
Yeah,
where the hell is this man?
I just jumped so far
One
ahead.
of the most important
Yeah,
parts that I
yeah.
like.
I mean,
I was
it
about ready to
might
bring up
be,
the HBO show. It's like,
it
what?
could be a little important. Okay, so he ends up at the inn, if you
Yes.
want to call it that. And at the end, he sees a boy, near the stables, and this is the first introduction. We don't know him yet, but it is who? It's Egg. And I love how the kid played Egg because it's kind of what I expected, but I always expected Egg to be, the kid played him really well into the fact where he wasn't, I almost felt like Egg was a little bit arrogant without meaning to be arrogant because he was like a know-it-all in the book. Maybe not arrogance is the word I'm looking for, but
Could it be the fact that he's pretending to be somebody from Flea Bottom or not sharing his background, but he was brought up as part of a well-to-do, respected house. So
mhm,
he's acting above the airs he's putting on.
right. It could be. What do you
Yeah.
what do you
Oh,
think about that meeting when they meet each other and he's telling him, oat the horse and bet him down and there'll be a shiny copper for you. And you think,
I was laughing because
yeah,
it just reminded me since we know, of course, but I thought that the kid was fantastic. I was
yeah,
afraid he was going to be a brat.
that's what
Like
I
it,
was worried about too.
so they
Mhm.
managed with the direction and with the actor we were able to come up with that. Yes, he definitely seemed a little too sure of himself. They did some clever writing, even more than I remember in the novel. His language was a little more elevated than it should have been, and
Hmm.
he wasn't having the Cockney kind of thing he should have. But he looked very confident, but he also looked very telling, and I thought it was genuinely astonishing and well done when he shows up and Dunk, starts ordering him and calling him stable boy, and he like hesitates for a second, and we
Right.
later that
Yeah.
literally he was not actually at that time necessarily posing as what he thought he was. Are we allowed to spoil stuff that comes later?
Well, yeah, we'll just tell everybody right now. There will be spoilers because it kind of helps us explain the story and we're book people anyways. So
Yes. So I definitely felt that it was well done, just the way it was in the book and in the show. I never got the feeling in the book that he was a brat, and so that's why I was happy that he wasn't bratty.
Yeah, see, I always got he was in a brat. He just was kind of like he just was matter of fact. Maybe that was it
Yeah.
to the point. So this is kind of what I wrote as the scene. Dunk entered the crowded roadside inn near Ashford Meadows, drawn by noise, warmth, and the promise of cheap food. Probably is the number one reason. In the book, I'm pretty sure it was packed with small folk.
No, it was kind of empty because everyone was off going.
Okay, so it was that in the book too. I should have reread the first couple chapters. All right, so maybe I'm thinking of something a little farther down, but in my mind, it was like there was going to be all these people, because it kind of it's like the isolation of being on the road, and then all of a sudden all these people. But maybe I am wrong. I know there is one very important person inside there. And I thought that scene was awesome.
Good job of foreshadowing, because I don't know who that person is, but I know that person was important.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
By just the few minutes of time that he's on screen.
I like that, Liam. Naive arrogance.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah.
Yeah. So Dunk, the scene escalates when Dunk confronts the boy outside at first. It's not really escalated, but he's like, feed him, do this, do that. I'll give you a copper.
I love the way
or a
they
clock on
worded
the head.
it, because
Yeah.
he said something like, could you go do this? And he's like, I could.
Yeah.
He didn't say, it's not my job, that he just answered the question that was presented to him.
Yeah. He never says like he works there. He just says, yeah, I could do that. That is pretty funny. And you see like, again, that I think Liam put it perfectly, naive arrogance.
Yeah. That would come from his upbringing, that's the way you talk because that's who he is.
And who the hell other than his family is going to question him? You know what I mean? So like, yeah.
Now this.
So yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as far as this drunken knight that's so important. Well, first of all, it was really obvious as hell in this, more so than I felt in the book, that holy crap, that is a Targaryen. If I ever saw a Targaryen, I mean, the hair and everything. But I mean, just the foreboding, though. He's like, I dreamed of you. You stay away from me.
Dude.
You hear? You stay well away from me. I'm reading here, of course, from the book, because the dude's a dreamer.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a dreamer. I mean, and I
thought of Daemon right away as soon as I saw him.
Okay.
And because he mentioned dreams and the way they are portraying Daemon's character in House of the Dragon. Not necessarily book accurate Daemon, but
I don't know. Well, I don't know if anybody caught a glimpse of the coin he put down, but it did look like a three-headed dragon, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's gold. So like most people aren't going to be fishing that one out. And that's what you see. Dunk recognize that too. There he is.
Oi, oi.
Oi, oi, brother.
Yeah.
All right. So we're on the scene where Dunk meets Egg for the first time.
Yeah.
Outside the tavern.
Yeah. And can we have a shout out to the food is exactly what the lady had in the novella, like the lamb and the goose that her son had shot down, and he ordered both. And he goes, "You're big enough for it." I'm like, "Yes, I want lamb right now."
Yep.
I like that addition in comparison to the book where he orders both.
Yeah.
I like that. I thought that was it was a telling.
Did you notice the tavern owner picked up a glass that still had some drink in it, drank it, and then poured it for him? I thought that was
the only other thing she could have done that was great was after she drank it, spit into it, wiped it out, and then poured a drink. It was that close. It was that close. But what do you think about the scene where they met?
I thought it was a good scene. For fact of the matter is that it shows Egg is a lot more intuitive, and Dunk is a little bit more gullible. Like, because when he says, "You're the stable boy," he doesn't answer him. He just does actions. Yeah.
Well, he does. He does it. Yeah, you're right. He just answers certain things.
Very much on the nose of like what Daemon used to always do with his brother.
Mm-hmm.
He'd never give him a straight answer. If he wanted him to do something, he would do it, but he would never say yes or no on a scenario.
Yeah.
And I quite have you. Are you done any spoilers for who characters are yet, or you going to do that later?
Wait a minute, say that again.
Have you done any spoilers on who the characters are as of yet? Okay, we'll
Not
save
like
that
the
for
guy
later.
in the guy in the tavern.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
who Egg is and all that. So
Right. We
yeah.
haven't done that yet.
Right.
Um.
Could I just get like just 2 minutes just to touch on what you spoke
Oh,
about
please,
earlier?
please go right ahead, buddy.
Yeah. So I think the opening scene, the shooting behind the tree, I didn't like, but I get why they did the tone. But I think it's the perfect thing because the way I look at it, it's Dunk giving his recap of the last 2 Game of Thrones shows. That's it. That's how I look at it because it was in the middle of the fucking song, you know. So I'm like, all right. Also, he definitely, I still gonna stand by it. He was definitely knighted. He was just never taught to be a knight. There is a big difference. He hadn't been taught. So when he meets people and he does that, he's unconfident of what to do because he hasn't learnt it yet. He hasn't learnt to be a knight. He's heard the stories of a knight. He's watched what his master and everything did, but he was never doing it. And the only reason that he was knighted was because the guy was dying.
Yeah, I still don't know, man. I don't know. I feel
But
like
he said the words. That's the point.
That's,
like,
what he says.
Yeah, in the book. So, but the thing that when it comes to it, it's just like I don't know if it's a part of the show's editing, or if it's an actual part of the story. Because every time they do those cutaway things, it's hard to know whether that was just something that was added in later on, or if that was originally meant to be. Because it could very well be something where they've just tried to add in that Edgar Wright style of cutaway humor.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and that's.
Do you feel like the show made it more he was not knighted?
Oh yeah, the show's basically turning around and saying that he's a liar. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that one bit because you're starting off his journey on the biggest lie that he holds for his entire life.
Right.
That's like he's honest to a fault. That's the problem. Like,
sorry, I'm trying to adjust my heating pad. Give me a second. Keep talking.
Yeah, he's not a deceptive sort of person, and like he doesn't know what's the right thing to do, and he says, "Well, I guess I could just sell the horses and live like that." He's like, "But like he wasn't taught how to be a knight." But then they show on the thing every time he asks that they've made out Alan was so fucking abusive to him all the time because that's all we've seen from him.
Right.
Yeah, so like that first part of it really threw me off. But I think it probably only took about maybe 20 seconds worth of dialogue, and I was just like, "Oh, this is Dunk."
Yeah.
I felt like it was Dunk. I'm just like, this is that big goofy rugby player that was in that freaking rom-com thing that could not act. He basically played Dunk and Egg in a completely different series. He played 2 characters that were brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I think how they started it off was it was supposed to be as jarring and as that. Just so you know, this isn't your parents' Game of Thrones. I think the humor in it comes from the dialogue, and I find that all the added humor that they're trying to add into it doesn't really work.
Right. It definitely doesn't help.
No, but like it hasn't taken me away from it. I thought it was a good, solid episode. It's a very good start. I enjoyed the faithfulness of the text and what happens. The fact that it didn't end on some big cliffhanger or some big, emotional beat. It was just a realization. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's who I am. I am the knight. Just because I don't feel like it doesn't mean that I'm not.
Right. So, all right, now let's get back to the inn. Okay, so Dunk meets this young boy. The boy's, like we've been saying, he's kind of cagey on how he answers. Dunk doesn't pick up on any of that. He gives him the horses, to feed, and promises him or throws him the copper at that point. He's like, you'll pick it up. No, that's after. Promises him that. He goes in and he gets food. Okay. And we see this, word for word, like you said, the duck and the lamb. And he sees a man like passed out. who, like, when he wakes up, I love that scene. When he wakes up and looks at him, he says, like, you stay the fuck away from me. You know, like, you stay, I know who you are. You stay away from me. And Dunk is just like, what
the hell?
Yeah.
I don't remember in the books where he says I dreamt of you. Was that just a show
Yes, he did.
ad-lib?
No, he did.
He did.
Yeah.
He did say, okay. I just did not remember that part. So
Yeah, that's definitely one of the first time we meet him. Yeah, it was so good. And the way the actor played it was really well.
Yeah.
You know, like pulling out his dagger, pretty much threatening him. What's up, Mike? Good to see you, brother. Oh, Mason of the Free Folk has entered the scene. There we go.
Woohoo.
What's up, Mason?
Hey. Oh, he's muted.
You're muted, buddy.
Yeah.
You do it to yourself every time. Okay.
Hey, Mad, what's going on, buddy?
Mad. Ah, my little protege, I would call him. How are you, Mad? I gave him that YouTuber thing, and he's taking it. Great show. Comes on after this. Fantastic. Make sure you guys are there. Great guy, Mad Mardigan. And once you unmute Mason, we'll talk. But so we get that scene. Kind of question the giveaway was the coin, I believe. You're meant to know this guy's, if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, he is either a Targaryen or he is high up in like one of the major houses.
He doesn't even look at it. That's the weird thing. He just flicks and he's just still looking at him like that's, you know.
Yeah.
He looks either that or he's a bastard. I had to get that in because we haven't had a chance to say bastard, and I don't know if we will.
Yeah, that was perfect. What's up, Liz? So then Dunk is like, okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. And he finds Egg on his horse with his armor on. I mean, this is perfect scene.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
He looked so cute in the little barber, the little boy, the actor on top of the horse. It was exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
I like the
Didn't
fact
he
that
wear
it was
the armor before Dunk did? So I thought that
yes,
was kind of funny.
because the armor doesn't fit.
Yes.
That's the point. The armor doesn't fit Dunk because he's too big.
Yeah. What's up,
Gotcha.
Brahma?
Doesn't fit. He's too small. He's so
Oh, it was
cute.
perfect.
There we go.
Hey, Mason.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're
We can
welcome,
hear.
Matt.
Yeah.
So what did you think of it, Mason?
So I really liked it. The beginning was a little rough. Like I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make sure you know that the
It was
show's
shocking.
not going to be like super dark and serious.
Mm-hmm.
But like in the middle of Dunk's monologue with like the slap montage, I didn't quite like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like giving this heartfelt monologue. He's like, "I'm sorry, sir. You shouldn't have died." And he's like, his voice is breaking, and then it's just like, "You never beat me," and then it's like, slap, slap, slap.
Yeah. It was just like, you never beat me when I didn't mean it. The best was the fire. Like he started some type of field, just an inferno behind him. And he
Wow,
goes,
you're assuming Dunk started that. Wow.
he said he only hit me when I deserved it.
Except for the one with the
Except for the pie.
And I love the way you see in the background there's the little girl like running away, or was it the boy, whoever it was
The
that
boy.
really stole it, running for his life.
Bet you that's Hot Pie's grandmother.
There you go.
Brahma, what's Gucci, my ninja? How you doing, bro? Anyway,
That's clever. It's the first time I'm hearing that.
yeah,
Nice.
I've been working on it for like a couple weeks now. I just wanted to make sure it like slid in there right. Not unlike poor Dunk, who definitely needs fiber. So he like, takes him off, take off the armor, take off, and then the kid has the balls to be like, take me with you. I could squire for you. And it's just like Dunk is like in shock with this kid. And I don't know if he calls him sir at that moment. And like Dunk's kind of shocked by that. Or was that only in the book? Because I know there's a part where he goes, they say the boy was bald as an egg. And then I think it's chapter 2 to page 44 or on the Kindle 880. Thank you, AI. Why do you call me sir? Dunk asked. Because you are one. They're like, not like questioning, not just you are one. Like Dunk's not, he like just pauses there for a second. Like he doesn't realize, yes, I'm a knight. Like I'm saying I'm a knight, people are going to talk to me like
Because I am a knight.
Right.
I just
'cause
haven't been
I
taught
pretend.
to be a knight.
I mean, you've been around a knight your whole life. You should probably know what people are going to call him and stuff, but no big whoop.
Yeah, unless your name's Dunk the Lunk, like.
What's that?
Yeah, this whole episode, Egg is calling him my lord because that's all he's been around.
My lord.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
a big
talent.
giveaway. Yeah.
but at the end, Dunk has to correct him. He's like, "No, I'm just a hedge knight. It's just sir."
Yeah, and the best part is in the book he says sir, and it's not mocking, it's not joking. He does it out of respect because he says he's a knight.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, I can't remember now because I only watched the episode once if he said that, and I meant to like look for that. But to me that's a big part in the book where
Yeah.
Egg is already respecting him as a hedge knight even though he's like never heard of you, but he's still respecting him, calling him sir.
Yeah,
And this
Egg
is a
knight.
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Egg knows his knights, and I also think it's cute the way he goes in the book. You know, he goes, "Every knight needs a squire. You look as though you need one more than most."
Yeah. Yeah. That is good.
And he's not
That is
trying to
good.
be a smartass.
No,
either.
he's sincere. He is
Yeah.
sincere. He
He's
really
like, "Hey,
is.
one, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, real quick, thank you for watching. If you haven't been here before, shoot out, comment in the live chat. We're live right now on the YouTube, the Rumble, and X. So thank you for being around. All right. What were you going to say, Mason?
Well, like, if you were hypothetically, of course, not a hedge knight and just were a squire whose sir had died and you just took his stuff, having a squire yourself would kind of help sell the deal. Saying like, "Oh no, I've been a knight a while. Like this is my squire here."
Yeah.
See, that definitely help you look the part.
Oh man, it was good. So he leaves him, and that's when he tosses the copper. He's like, "You can pretend like you're not going to pick it up, but you will," type thing. And that's where we then get to the failed registration, I would call it.
Before we get to that, can I ask
Yeah.
a quick question?
Please do.
I believe it was Marby in the chat that mentioned that in the book, Egg is about 15. Would you agree?
He doesn't
I get the
know how
impression
old
was
he
that
is.
old.
He doesn't
Oh,
know
okay.
how old he is, but he is a teenager. Yes.
Ah, okay.
Oh, he is a teenager? I thought
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like 18, 19, I thought.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry.
No,
Wait,
Dunk
say that
is
again.
like-
My microphone fell. Okay, I got it. My brain cells are gone. I was thinking you were talking about Egg, and I'm like, what the hell? But no. Yeah, no.
Yeah, because you just said Egg is that age. I'm like, no, Dunk. You mean?
Yeah.
No,
I could have sworn that Marby just said
no, Marby's.
that.
I thought he was talking about Dunk.
Oh,
Dunk
gotcha,
is
gotcha.
like
Okay, then
16
I got
to
confused.
20.
Dunk is 16.
Well, he's like 16.
Okay.
to
He doesn't even know
18 or
when he was
19.
born.
Yeah, he has
or his
no clue.
birthday, but he's like 16 to 20-ish.
Gotcha,
Probably
gotcha. I got
because Joyce the
confused.
younger.
Yeah.
And Egg's
Um,
like what, 8 or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, he's young.
Egg is 9.
9. I think he's 9. Oh, 11 Alpha said 9 also. Good job. I read that. So yeah, we see him going through like trying to figure out his bearings on what he's supposed to do. And he ends up, going through, seeing all the different tents, seeing people, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes and speaks with a attorney clerk, I guess you would call him. The something. And I feel like there are parts that are internal dialogue in the book that the clerk does out loud. Am I correct on that?
I think so. I think they've done a really good job adapting the internal monologue into dialogue for this first episode.
Yeah. Because
Talking
like
to the horses.
Yeah.
talking to the horses, but like also
Well,
like,
yeah, I like that because that fits that fits that he's always had someone to talk to, and now he's I enjoyed that side of things. The stuff with the other stuff, it just felt like there was a little bit of forced dialogue here and there. But like it's hard to get a visual medium to convey thoughts and because it is a very POV heavy story,
Okay, yeah. No,
they're
that's
they're
smart.
they're limited to what they can do.
Exactly.
I don't think they did it bad, but it was just noticeable, I guess, because being a book reader.
Right. Because like you have that steward of House Ashford, plumber, thank you. There are moments where in the book, and I had a couple of them written down. I don't know what I did with it, but where Dunk internalized his like insecurities about being a knight, this guy said them out loud. You know, like what will happen to him if they find out he's not one, or they don't believe he's one.
You have a hero,
The old Ashford chair.
The Ashford chair. Yeah, that was a good part.
Yeah.
He's like, I like how the guy's just like,
Yeah.
That was so disgusting.
So how do you guys feel about them like changing the order of events a little bit?
explain. I like where you're going.
So like when he's on his way, he meets the Fossaways before he goes to the clerk guy.
Right. And in the story, in the book, it's
He
flopped, right?
Well, no, in the book he goes straight to he goes straight there. That's the point.
Yeah, we don't see the Fossaways until after, correct? Okay.
Yeah, and
What did you think, Mason?
I don't know. I'm happy to see where it's going. But they haven't had him like buy new armor yet, which is he was supposed to do that before the end of this episode, and he hasn't yet. So like him giving away what's the horse's name? He sells one of the horses to buy new armor.
He doesn't do that in this episode, though.
He didn't do it in this episode, but in
No.
the book,
Speaking of
chronologically,
horses,
Yes, you're right.
what's with the one not being a war horse?
Well, you have one
I mean,
war
'cause-
horse.
Right,
Yeah, it is
but
a
if you
war horse.
look
He
at all,
even states it.
I know, but all three of those horses are exactly the same freaking size. And I said
Well,
that I saw that in the first scene, and I'm like,
Right.
wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
'Cause
And
the
then
other-
when he's yelling at Egg for being on the back of a war horse, I'm like, he's no taller than any other horse.
The difference
the
is
fuck?
the Thunder has more experience in battle and in stuff, so that's why he is the war horse. And I believe in the book he is bigger.
He's big, and also Thunder is also the fastest out of all of them as well.
There's two parts to being a war horse, as far as I know. There's like, breeding a horse to be larger and like able to carry more weight, and not be like more aggressive. And then there's also like training a horse, like when you're jousting, you have your hands are kind of full, so you have to control the horse a little better with like your legs, as far as I know.
Right.
In this case, like in the books, it's a different breed of horse, but in the show, you kind of have to headcanon it that it's just the training for the horse. And it kind of makes sense because, he's just a hedge knight. He can't afford like a really expensive, good war horse. Right?
Mm-hmm. No,
Also, I think the horse is like taller than Dunk as well, supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a big freaking horse. Thunder. Yeah. He's definitely big. So, in that scene though, with the bureaucrat, with the steward, in the book, for example, chapter 2, page 34 through 36. Sorry, I didn't get the Kindle one because AI didn't help me. But I'll get that from AI in a minute. Dunk felt the eyes on him and knew what they saw. A big lout in borrowed mail. They know I'm no true knight, he thought, and the thought made his ears burn. So in the text, it's like an internal humiliation, almost like he's like keeping it all inside, like the fear of them figuring him out, and his self-judgment, really. And then when you go to the show, on screen, the rejection is spoken out loud. The clerk asks who knighted him, dismisses the name, and moves on. So you have like this cold bureaucratic type response to what was once in the book internal, now is like this public, like, who? No one knows that guy, you know?
I also felt like in the book the guy was a lot more. No, I'm going to use the word caring, but a lot
Understanding?
more. Yeah, way
Yeah.
more understanding. Yeah, like because he wants people to be a part of the tournament.
Yeah.
He just wants to make sure that they're they're not
They-
going to
they
go
have
out
the
there and
lineage.
get killed straight away. Which, spoiler alert, later on, a very similar thing happens
Right.
with someone who isn't trained and qualified to fight fights.
Right.
Um,
And
So,
it
like,
shows you, though, this scene does show you what I like about it, that Westeros, like, policy, I guess. It's not about virtue or honesty, ability, but you're knighted through name, witnesses. It's like an institutional form of like gatekeeping. You know, like it's like a bunch of nerds that have mail on gatekeeping. Like, you're not nerd enough.
So is there
but
like a
that's how it comes
Joffrey
to-
level person coming up then that we should
Mm.
anticipate? You know, someone who's well born, thinks they're
Oh,
or
you're
something,
definitely
but they
getting
really
one
are
of
not a good
those.
fighter. Okay.
I wouldn't say that.
no, apart
No.
from that,
Fighter.
Apart from the fighting
everything
part.
but that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fighter, all right, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
One
probably
hell of a
not
drinker,
so
too.
crazy.
hell of a drinker. Ah. So yeah, verdict on that scene though, I thought it felt faithful, but it had to make it TV ready. So it took internal dialogue and gave it to another character to kind of make us feel that same moment, just in a more public way. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I just didn't like, frankly, the way he was so crude, though, because in the book, he was formal. Like, he wasn't sitting there spitting and being nasty, like with
Not at
Aaron
all.
Booth. He was actually acting like, a normal person, like the plumber guy, the gatekeeper dude. So that was my main pet
Yeah.
peeve. I understand what they were going for the show, but it's like, not everyone is disgusting in this world.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
No, just the people that serve you food.
Well, unlike
Yeah,
this world.
the lady took a drink out of a random cup and then just filled it back up and gave it to him.
Now, I'm sorry to go back to this because we already talked about it, but we're kind of going back into it. Ashford itself, Ashford Meadows. I felt like we didn't get that brightness you get in the book.
No, especially with like all the camps and like how it's described, like
banners.
all the banners, all
I'll
the
even read some. I'll read some. From chapter 2, page 22 first. Ashford Meadows was bright with banners. Chapter 2, page 24, or on the Kindle 460. Red apples and green apples both, which I didn't realize until I reread that. I thought that happened afterwards. And lightning bolts and the dragons three-headed. And then he also, a couple a chapter later, when they're talking about Ashford, 13 years past, Blackfyre host had broken here and there. So we do get like some Blackfyre lore in the book, which is kind of like sidebar type thing. But I don't know if we got enough of it in this episode. It must be coming up in later episodes, I would think.
There would be no point for it to be added into this episode, I don't
Yeah,
think,
'cause we're
unless
just
it's
introducing,
just
right?
there for a did you catch that, people?
Yeah.
But yeah, like they had all the banners, they had all the tents and everything. They were full of colors. My personal gripe is I don't think there was enough apple puns in this episode.
Not enough.
So
I
yeah.
mean, we got the reds, we got the greens. Come on.
You need to knock the seed out of him. He's rotten to the
Yes.
core.
He's rotten to the core.
He's got no skin
Yeah.
for it. Like I'm loving it.
Is the
Yeah.
actor? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I agree, though, that they needed to have it brighter. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I finally brought it up because I couldn't, I needed to follow along with the show. They are bright colors and but not as vibrant. And the reason why that's important is because it's such a stark contrast to what happens later. Martin uses a lot of symbolism with light and sun and brightness and
Yeah.
dullness. And I think they should have done a better job showing the contrast, unless they're going to wait until the next episode when maybe we're going to see some more of the nobility and the royalty show up.
Yeah, because the beginning of the book, and that was a perfect. I'm glad you said that, because the beginning of the book, we see the brightness. Dunk is still seeing it as a spectator. You know, it's this bright banners and colors and different houses, and woo, this is so much fun. And then as you get into the book, you see Dunk actually is a part of it. And this is where his words have meaning, and whatever he says is held against him. And if you smack somebody, you might have to pay for it. You know, we see like it gets dirtier and darker. Come on back. There you are. Yeah, it's pretty. You're muted, just so you know. It's pretty interesting. And I just want to go back real quick to 11 Alpha's letting us know Destry equals war horse, Palfrey traveling horse, and Sumpter a pack horse. I believe the war horse, there's one Destry and two Palfreys, because I believe the two Palfreys, one Dunk Road and one the white one Sir Arlen Road. So I don't know if they had a Sumpter, but in the book they might have actually. One of them was a pack
He did
horse,
refer
wasn't it?
to one of the horses as a palfrey.
Okay. And while we're waiting for Grant, we have a member for 28 months here, Brian McCann. Thank you, buddy. 28 months is a long time, and I appreciate it. The story needs the deep ones. You and your freaking deep ones, man. I will get to it, I promise. Brokeback Hedge Knight Mountain. Whoa. We didn't get there yet. I hope not. Yeah, and 11 Alpha also says the colors were too mute, but that is typical of modern filmmaking. They think bright colors are campy, kind of like the 90s, early 2000s X-Men. What do you think, we'd wear yellow spandex? Yeah. Please.
But that was also a big part of the pageantry of those things. They were supposed to be seen as bigger and brighter and better than what they were. If you rock up to a place and it looks like shit,
Right.
people aren't going to want to be there. They like, as you said, like what people thought of you was a huge factor back then.
Right. And the Fossaways, the Dendarians, Targaryens, even the Baratheons, they're not going to have dirty tents, right? Grant, they're going to have clean, bright.
Yeah, exactly.
ones.
That they're going to have huge colors. They want to stand out. They want people to look at that tent and go, oh man, I want to go in there. But no, you can't. You know, that's what they want. Like, and also the fact of the matter is, branding was very big back then. Like, it didn't matter what you had. Your name meant everything. A brand, a name, whatever it was the most important thing. So you'd want to show that off every chance that you got.
Right.
Yeah. And it was also
God,
a way to
dope.
show my you know what is bigger than yours.
The
bigger, the brighter.
Bigger the brighter. Amen to that. Or wait, what? No. I just want to say real quick, Grant, that is dope. That is really cool what you put in the private chat. Let's see. Oh, look who's here. The Bosco scenario. Sup, everyone. Good to see you, man. Glad you're here. Check out the channel. Good human being right there.
Hope Canadia's treating you well.
Oh yeah, he's Canadian. Sorry, dude. Maybe saving all the colors for tournament itself. I don't know about that. It should have been first. Let's see. What was after that? So Dunk finds out he needs.
Before we move on, I just want to say I really like the sword that Dunk has. Like, he sets it on the table in front of the guy, and he has like a little penny at the hilt.
Yeah,
really cool little detail.
Oh, I forgot about that part. That was so dope.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool too. But then he gets out and he has to find somebody. So
yeah, he's got to find Dundarian.
Yeah, that's who he's looking for, right?
Because in the book he finds him way early, like
right
almost
away,
straight away. Yeah.
Okay, so that I was right on that too. Yeah, I thought that was weird, like how long it took us to see that prick. You know,
because they also added in the two whores that were there, which wasn't in the book, but there was mentioned of a red-headed whore or a red-headed chick that he does see.
Yes,
it's only like a one tiny line, so they've added two of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think if any story didn't need this kind of like nudity, it'd be Dunk and Egg. It's kind of
Well,
like came out of
the
nowhere.
the most nudity we saw was Dunk. We saw his ass twice, and once poop was
Darn
coming
right.
out of it.
Yeah, but
Like, what is up with man ass? I don't think women want to see that as much. The question for the chat: would you rather see a lady
I'd
ass or a
rather
man
see
ass?
the back than the front.
Yeah.
Yes. But,
But if-
actually,
Because the
frankly, I'd like to
dinglings
see
are a
them in
little
uniform.
vulgar.
What was that,
beats
Teresa?
everything. I say uniform beats everything, but yeah, I agree with her about back
Yeah.
is better than front.
Yeah, I think we'd all rather see lady back
all
than
right,
man
even
back.
if he's like clutched up against a tree and like pooping, like
Yeah.
Not that kind of back.
Why so close to the guy you just buried too? That's also another weird thing.
Right.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Some of the best scenes come up next though. So he's trying to he talks to the whores. They pretty much, are making fun of him, and he takes it, which I really enjoyed how he comes back at them later. Because they are jaded. They're women who follow camps, and they both have red hair because that's what Dundarian wants. And then we find out he sleeps with everybody's wives. Did he sleep with your wife? They ask Dunk, and Dunk's like, I'm not married. Like, a little added that I wasn't ready for, but I actually think that the two horrors come out better than I thought they would have. Like, just throwing these women in, they actually had a moment there.
I thought they were going to do a character swap, and they were going to be the ones that get attacked later on, and that's what I thought.
Because he gets to know them.
Because I mean, look, especially the lighter skinned out of the two of them, they have this weird moment, and he looks at it and he gives her that smile. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
they're doing it with her
and
instead.
she was
okay,
taller and bigger, right?
Yeah,
but that's not what happened.
But then when you see the other chick, the one that he
What's her name? Lisa.
Yeah, I looked at it and I went, that can't be her.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked on the IMDb. I went, I'm like, oh, that's a bit different.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
It's a bit different.
Denzel too tall.
I liked the word though because the dialogue that they had, they did some exposition for us
A little bit,
in
yeah.
a way that wasn't just him talking to his horses or something. And they gave us the whole thing where the redheaded whore didn't know, well, wait, they're both redheaded.
They're both redheaded.
Yes. The black one, she didn't know what a hedge knight was, and the other one explains it, and they said it's like a real knight but sadder. And then Dunk's like, I'm not sad and stuff, and you see that his feelings are getting hurt.
Yeah, I like the part when he's like, "Do you really have to mock me?" And then it kind of,
yeah.
Oh,
but the way that he says it when he
like
looks at it,
a
he's like, must you mock me? Like he's saying you have the option and you're deliberately going out of your way to do it. He's not asking why you're mocking. He's saying must you? Like,
right.
Yeah.
But go with what you were saying, Mason. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and they kind of realize like, oh, this isn't like a actual like knight to a lord. This is just like a regular person. They're kind of like on a similar level in the like society hierarchy. Like,
also kind of you expecting that he's going to have some quippy comeback to the girls because he looks down on them where he doesn't look down on them, and he's saying, why do you need to attack me? I wasn't rude to you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like actually like a moment where these two jaded and cynical horrors like take a second and are like, God, we are being pretty mean. But they're and they say we're so used to seeing this, that's how they react. People coming thinking they're going to be these great winners and they're not, and that's what they see in him. Just a upstart hedge knight, trying to make a name for himself. And they've probably seen it hundreds of times. I love this scene though. I don't know if I'm skipping too much. You have after the Fossaways fight. And what's the name of the bigger Fossaway? There's the cousin.
Stefan
Fossaway, right? He's the jerk off.
Yeah,
Douche. He wants to fight Dunk, and Dunk is smart enough not to. And
Even though Raymond's egging him on, going, "You got to do it. Knock the seed out of him."
yeah, yeah, and he apologizes for that afterwards, right? He's like, "I'm sorry," he does that so he can measure guys he may see in the list, and he also likes to break a hand or foot while he's at it, pretty much. So to make that up to him, and before this, I won't jump to the Laughing Tree tent. Before that, after he's like wandering around, having a couple drinks, eating a bit, he sees a show going on. And let me say that visual of the tent with the dragon and what's her name? Tianzi, Tiami,
Tanzel.
Too tall.
Tanzel Too Tall. Sounds like a football player. That part was so cool. The dragon made out.
I want
it
that
was
to be
so dope.
natural effects. I'm hoping that they actually shot it like that and it wasn't CGI.
I'm pretty sure they did.
That was physical. It was a
Yeah.
practical effect.
Practical effect.
Yeah, it was a really cool scene, but like not at all like the books. Like in the books, it's an actual like puppet, and you like throw in sawdust, like colored sawdust for fire and blood.
Right.
And Tanzel is actually moving the puppets. Then in this, he's just like standing there narrating.
Yeah, that's true. She's actually manning the puppets. This one, she just narrates. But I guess with that size of a puppet, they kind of had to do it that way. But the shooting fire, everybody having
she's
a ball.
not tall enough and big enough to be able to move it all
She didn't
herself.
look that tall, did she?
She's 5'10" in real life, the actress.
Oh, pretty tall.
For a woman.
I mean, I'm 5'9". Shut up.
Duncan, so he can kiss her, because that was a thing in the book where he was like, "Darn it, I can never kiss a woman without bending down."
Well, he's in the book close to 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'9",
and she's 6'1" or something like that, right?
Yeah.
11 Alpha's asking a question I had no clue about. I just thought it was some weird kinky game that Dundarian likes to play. Why exactly the third one playing a corpse out of the horse?
The stones on the eye and that death ritual, that's only a TV thing. That was never in any of the books.
Yeah.
Having the stones on the eyes and all that was...
It's like, right. I think they're doing, that was like, what's his name's funeral?
John Aaron's. But I mean, when we
and
first
John
see
Aaron
it...
too.
John Aaron, they wanted to spice up that scene and originally, so they added the rocks and they did all that. That was what happened.
Yeah.
So that now became canon just because someone said, "Why don't you throw some rocks in his eyes?" That's what they would do.
So instead of coins, we'll put painted rocks that look freaky.
Yeah. I'm forgetting what season it was, but Littlefinger says in one season, like, "Oh, these lords are so depraved. Sometimes they like have very unnatural desires."
Right, and that's what I was
kind of showing. Yeah, it's kind of just showing some of that.
Oh, well, at least it's only role play in this, because my gosh, better than the real deal.
Yeah, right.
Or they're just lying to a guy, like, "Oh,
you wanted a cold corpse? Well, she's not that cold, but go for it." Anyways.
Also, I find it funny with Tanzel with her accent because she's got a really, like, when you talk to her normally, she's got a really thick Aussie accent. And hearing her put on that, like, sort of like Pommy Regal sort of one, I'm just like, oh, I don't even recognize you.
She's Dornish though, right?
She's supposed to be, yeah.
Dornish. Yeah, okay. Who's the actress?
Tanzin Crawford. Tanzin Crawford?
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
I can forgive them though, because if they're gonna swap a character, at least it is canon that people in Dorne are darker skinned.
Yes, but it's Mediterranean dark versus.
It's like Italian.
Oh, I know that, yeah, but you know that they have to do it, and it's better they do that than like if they did it to Dunk or did it to.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Well, I'm wondering if when the Valerians come into the story, if they're going to be black or not.
Well, it's been about what? How long has it been? About 100 years?
70-something years.
Yeah, so maybe they'll be like really light, skinned, like really light skinned, almost back to Valerian. Maybe, I don't know, but what? I'm just looking at the actress because she does. First of all, Daniel Ings, who plays the Laughing Tree or Laughing Storm, I said Laughing Tree.
The Laughing Storm, yeah.
laughing cow. He was so good.
Yeah, he
Um,
kind of surprised me how much he stole the show. Like, I just remember him from the Gentleman, the TV series. That's the only other thing
I haven't watched
I think
that. I
I've
heard it was
seen him
good.
in. He was all right in that, yeah. Like, but I didn't really know the guy. I didn't realize how freaking tall he must be as well.
Mhm.
Because when he's there dancing with Dunk, there's like barely no difference in height.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
there's
true.
always that one character in that'll just he's not the main character, but he steals the show. Like we had Rhys Ifans in House of the Dragon. That every scene that he was in, he just stole it. I have a feeling that this guy's going to do the same.
Yeah.
Charismatic as fuck.
Very charismatic, dude. I love how you put that, though.
And I can't wait for certain things that are going to happen with him because, yeah, and I like the fact that they expanded on his character here so that you're going to see maybe a little more of a connection for what's
Mhm.
going to happen probably in the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw something saying that his inspiration for this was Jack Sparrow and some other character. It's
I
like
mean, he
that's
plays it so well. Like
Yeah,
you're. I'm sorry. Go ahead, and I'll talk. My bad.
so I mean I like him. He's acting really good, but he's like quite flamboyant. Like this is definitely Renly's ancestor. Like a couple times he does like something like just a little too weird. It's like what are you trying to imply with this?
Yeah.
Well,
What are you saying?
he's a bisexual character though, isn't he?
Um.
He's a character. I'm sure
Is
there was
he?
something about that
I don't
he lays with
remember that.
both.
Maybe
Yeah,
I don't remember it.
I
I
There's
always
not
don't
that much
remember
detail of him in
anything
this,
like
but,
that.
see. To me, he
I-
played off more. He played off more of a character who was. He is like one of the great houses, and he knows it. So no matter what he does or says, even with the Targaryens, they're so connected. He's pretty much kind of a prince in a way. He's a bastard, like of the bastard of the Targaryen line. So like he plays it like no matter what he says or does, it's gonna be all right. You know, I that's what I liked about him. The Laughing Tree was pretty dope.
that's
The
an
laughing tree or the
example of
laughing
I keep saying Laughing Tree. Jesus.
laughing.
is
The
that
laughing
is that like a
storm.
name of a store or something?
No, I don't know why I keep saying Laughing Tree. Laughing Cow is a cheese. I know that much.
Yeah, the Vashkiri. Well, I'll tell you what, this is a good example of when they add something to the adaptation that actually enhances something. Because I hate when we're gaslit when, like, some of the gay tardation that happened in season 2 of House of the Dragon, everyone's like, well, it can't be exactly the same. We have to add things. It's like, yeah, but you don't add things that change everything. Like this didn't change it, this enhanced it because we
Yeah.
do know that maybe we do need to have things like this. So I really enjoyed what they did with the Laughing Storm and with Dunk and the way Dunk was acting, even though he was chowing down on all that food and feeling really awkward and eating that tart, which by the way, I want a tart now.
Yeah.
Like, well, what are you doing here? And Dunk's just kind of like, supper? Like he didn't know what he was supposed to say, and that laughing cow. Oh gosh, yeah, you say it. I'm gonna go get laughing cow cheese right after this.
So good.
Yeah,
So good.
He loved it because it's like, oh my gosh, this is someone that's different, someone that's not.
But
like,
it also
he's not an idiot. He really is sincere. He doesn't know that he's coming across like a moron. He's great. And I
Well, and
love
that's also a good scene because it also shows one thing that Dunk is willing to cop something. He got invited in there and he didn't throw fuck, the other guy. I just said his name a minute ago. He didn't throw Raymond under the bus.
Yeah.
What didn't do it. So I'm like, I like that about it. That shows an instant loyalty sort of thing.
Yeah, and Levin Alpha puts it, Lionel Baratheon was described as a swaggering giant of a man, almost as tall as Dunk. So yeah, they respected it. What I did like is when Dunk walks in, he strides in, but he doesn't stride in like an equal. It's like, I'm not supposed to be here. He hesitates and remains at the threshold for a while. Then from there, he like sees people laughing, sees people having a good time. confident that they're true-born knights, and he's not. So does he belong there? He doesn't believe it at first. But then, like, he decides what the hell. He goes in and he gets that leg of freaking what, a turkey leg or something. And he's, chewing through that, and he's eating the food, and he's just having a great time, but really by himself. He's just enjoying eating. If you watch him, he's just a guy who crashed the party to eat. And that's the best part, when he comes up with that pastry and he's just like, and you're right. As a knight, he doesn't blame somebody else. He takes responsibility. I'm sorry, I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. And if you watch it, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but like Sir Lionel's never he's never centered in the frame. He's always like here or there. He's never centered in the frame. I don't know.
And he's never sitting perpendicular to the desk. He's always sitting at an angle as well.
Lounging or like kicking. Like the new captain on that Star Academy show for Star Trek or whatever it is, Holly Hunter or whatever her name is, like lounging on it with reading glasses. I don't know why she needs reading glasses, but anyways, that's how Lionel is. And it's just, he knows he is the most important person in that room. So no matter what he does, people are going to laugh and accept him and blah, blah, blah. And I think he likes Dunk because Dunk, without knowing it, is probably the most honest guy to him. And in a way, not respectful, but not being disrespectful, just being honest. And I think that's what the Laughing Cow likes. Yep, Laughing Cow.
Yeah, that's
very
cool.
Even that's shown on the dance floor as well. That's the thing. Like when they stamp it on each other's foot, and then Dunk stamps on his foot, and then waits sort of second, waits for him to look back at him, and then gives him a big push.
Mm-hmm.
It's like no one else in that tent would be willing to do that.
No,
because they're all looking for something, and he just wanted to have something to eat.
And that was a cool moment because it shows you Dunk's footwork.
Yeah,
you're going. I know it's a dance, but people say sword fighting is a dance, and you see that once Dunk doesn't want to accept being stomped on, he doesn't get stomped on again. Yet he stomps on Lionel. Like that just goes to show you, like Dunk is a capable knight. He moves really quick on his feet for a guy his size. I thought that was a really neat scene of them. It was almost like they were fighting, but in a dance form, I guess. I could see why Liam says the Laughing Storm was more like a Martell than a Baratheon. I see what you're saying because it's that airy walk about them, but I think he played it pretty well.
But even out of the Baratheons, he's also a standout. He's not like his brothers. He's not like his uncles and everything. He's very different. That's like when I was reading the books and they're saying that he goes laughing into battle, I assumed one of two things: either the guy's fucking nuts, or he has some sort of weird mental problem, and that's just like a nervous tick. But seeing how he is now and how the guy's being played, I just think this guy just likes to fight.
Yeah. Oh,
he's just one of those people that's just like sitting in a tent with everything. He's bored with everything except for combat. And there's no great war to fight. There's no way to get his name in the history books.
Yeah.
He's just bored. And that's what I got out of it.
Yeah. Mike Has Bad Knees says that's what I took from that scene, his footwork. When I was a basketball coach, I could tell who had actual talent if they could dance. Hey man, I thought that meant something to, not to Dunk, but to Lionel, that he couldn't catch him. And then Dunk caught him. And that's why he got pissed. And then Dunk pushed him. And I thought he finally found someone who's not scared of who he is, being, Lionel Baratheon, Lord of Storm's End. I mean, go ahead, Mason, and then I'm going to hit 11 Alpha's question because I thought the same thing.
Yeah, he found somebody that's, just simple. Like he was just there to eat food. He wasn't trying to, curry favor from, one of the higher lords in the Seven Kingdoms. He was just there, and he's like, oh, okay. Then it's like, oh, like you just actually don't want anything from me. Like
Mhm.
even the
Yeah.
the poorest lord under me was, he can't afford to feed his own people, yet he's like tidied himself up and come to beg
Gave
me
him
for,
that what a
yeah.
knife or something like that.
Uh-huh.
That's a good point, man. Very good point. I forgot about that part. Like he straight out says it, like, what have you brought me? And Dunk's like, he has the pastry. He's like, he thinks about handing it to him. He's like, I didn't know I was supposed to, like, sorry. That was a really good scene. And 11 to Alpha, I also caught this. There's a part where Lionel was talking about the weather at Storm's End and how you could lick the salt from the air. And he was talking about riding into a storm or something like that. Did you guys catch that part? Was that before Dunk started to speak or like maybe somewhere after that? But yeah, he was talking about the salt in the air.
Yeah, I'm good
It's
at it.
the end of the party. And they're talking.
When he was
Oh,
very, very drunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me skip up to that.
You have that, Teresa?
Well, I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm skipping the dancing now.
How dare you?
Well, yeah. I think Mason's right at the end there. But hey, 2 thumbs up for the Baratheon tent and the decoration, and even the candles have the antlers. Everything's antlers, and the outside of it, they had the 2 big stags. I just love it. That design here. Again, my only complaint is it needs to be brighter. If they made it brighter, that would be, then I'd be a happy camper all around.
At least at the beginning,
Well, that was the point. That showed wealth and decadence. That's the reason why the Lannisters have the red and the gold, because they're 2 hard colors to come by in dyes. That's why purple is considered a royal color, because it's the hardest one to get.
I always wondered why they didn't make the Targaryens purple. I always thought about that.
Because their eyes already are.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool if that their house color was then too? I don't know. You have a valid point there. I didn't think about that. Okay. Yeah. What part was I going to talk about next?
I think Dunk at the end was going to ask him for some help or something, and I think that well, I think he knew that he might be asking, so that's why he turned around and said, "I'm very, very drunk."
Yeah.
Because that way, like, everyone's always asking for something, and if he leaves it, at least he had one night where someone didn't want something from him.
Yeah, he didn't give the opening to Dunk.
Yeah.
When Dunk was just asking for, like, advice, Lionel didn't want to give it to him. Like, truly give it to him. I thought that was kind of interesting, too. I thought it was a really good way of doing that scene. The text was faithful to the book, yet again, some of the inner dialogue is given to Lionel in a way.
Yeah, I feel like that's how they're going to do a lot of it.
I
think they're gonna say, like, when he's talking about in an upcoming scene where he's talking about how he's worried about what's going to happen, I have a feeling the other person's going to say, "I'm going to do this to you."
Right.
I can tell you're scared because I'm going to do this to you. When before it was just the internal one to try and throw it back out there. I am a little bit worried about the pacing though. I'm just thinking, like, look, based on what they're saying is coming up in the next episode, I feel like they're gonna rush something later on by drawing stuff out here now.
I feel like it definitely got rushed. I know that sounds stupid, but I almost felt like the part with Egg at the end was rushed.
Also, I was really hoping they were going to fix a plot hole from the book where, like, Egg just turns up to his camp. How does he know where he is?
Yeah, I always wondered about that too. Stalker, because he's off the beaten path too.
He is. He's off the. He's off the beat. That's the whole point. He's away from everything. He could have spent a night under a roof, but he wanted to save his money for some more food.
Yeah.
And he goes away, and then Dunk just happens to be there.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I think he followed him. He probably saw him around because he's easy to see.
No, but he said he got a lift in with some guys that were bringing lamb across. So how would he know where Dunk?
But once he got there, he would be able to find him. That's how I always took it. That's my
maybe. Dragon dreams. You never know. Mike has a point. So after this scene. So now he's walking back to his camp after being driven away in the inn. Egg returns. He's dirty, bruised, and persistent, sitting by a fire cooking a fish. Dunk is initially irritated, even though it is adorable. Where Egg's like, "You want some?"
He's like, "You hungry?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm always hungry."
Yeah. He goes and he makes it clear he doesn't want the responsibility of a squire. He insists he has nothing to offer, no coin, no prospects, no certainty of knighthood. Egg, however, refuses it. I don't know. He's like, he almost refuses to be intimidated by like the negativity in a way. He listens and argues back and stands his ground. The scene is quiet, intimate, and deliberately, in a way, I don't know if this is going to make sense, unheroic meeting. There is no like swelling music, trumpets, violence. I don't know. Just two figures far off from the tourney grounds, just by a fire talking, And Dunk finally relents, not because Egg convinces him of the future glory, but because Dunk recognizes something familiar, I would say, in the boy's stubbornness and hunger. It's not like ambition, but he has like, he empathizes with him and he decides he could be his squire. Just a couple book inner narrations and dialogue. From the Hedge Knight, chapter 2, page 53. If you're on a Kindle, 1045. I don't want a squire, Dunk told him. He meant it. Squire was one more thing to worry about, and he had worries enough already. And then you go to the next page. The boy would not be sent away. He's as stubborn as I am, Dunk thought, and the thought surprised him. And then on page 56, very well, Dunk says at last, you can stay. In the book, the decision is shaped by Dunk's inner thoughts of him, like Egg resembling himself as a kid, like mirroring what he sees in Egg, the hunger, the pride, refusal to yield. And it's clear in the book that Dunk is not choosing a squire because it's wise. He's choosing it because he understands it's him. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like it's him. He sees himself. But the show kind of strips that away from inner dialogue. It's kind of like a back and forth.
I think they kind of try and do it like through other means, like when he's talking with him in the barn before he leaves the inn. He's like, "Oh, you're an orphan, aren't you?" And then Egg's like, "Aren't you as well?" And then you have them talking like, "Oh, you're from King's Landing." So it kind of puts a couple similarities in there. But
right, and he says flea bottom.
And he thinks it means flea bottom. He
Egg
thinks
doesn't
it's the
answer.
same. Yeah. So I said he does the Targaryen thing where it's just like, I'm just going to let you assume what the answer is. So I technically haven't lied to you.
Yeah, it's so deceptively simple because this meeting between the two of them is going to change the world, and the skies let us know that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I thought it was a really cool moment, and it also shows like Dunk. He takes on like he is a knight because he's taking on a responsibility, and he's not gaining anything from it. It's actually more of a heartache for him in his mind at that moment. But he's taking on the responsibility because he feels like he has to, because it's himself. And I thought that was kind of a cool imagery. I don't know.
And the genuine happiness that Egg had on his face when he said he could. He's like, really? Like, oh my gosh. And it's so well done. It was infectious.
Yeah. And I love the part where they're laying under the stars and they see the shooting star.
Yeah. So the lucky ours alone then.
Yeah. And he's like, anybody who sees a shooting star, it brings them luck. And Dunk has a wisecrack at that first, and Egg rolls over and he thinks about it. He's like, well, everybody else is looking up at their tents, huh? So Yeah, it's ours alone. I thought that was a really cool moment too.
But as I said, like, it doesn't end on some big thing. There is no, like, there's no death. There's no, shock moment. It's just
No hints of who or what is to come. I like that.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'd say that this is a typical end for like a first episode. You have your team coming together. Dunk and Egg.
Mm-hmm.
They're officially joined. It's kind of set up for the Fossaways are going to be antagonistic to Dunk.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Well,
got
one
to
of them
find
will.
somebody that'll
One of them will.
vouch for him. It's
The one
got
that's
plenty of
rotten to the
promise.
core.
It wasn't like a shocking, push Bran out the window or disinherit Daemon like the past two spin-off or past two shows.
Could I say I couldn't? I'm sorry to change it, but I could not tell the color of his eyes. Someone put that out there. I think it was Lemon Alpha.
Yeah,
Did he have
the kid's
accurate
eyes
color?
are blue.
They are blue.
I did not see on the show if they changed it, which I don't think they did.
Well,
No.
I have to say, because in pictures of just the kid, they're very obviously blue, but in the show, I could not tell. So I was wondering if
They could have just turned the color palette down with like they do with everything.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's true.
But I think the kid did a good job. I'm glad this isn't a scenario where this is like his first acting gig.
Yeah, the kid is
when you're-
surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Sometimes with child actors, it's like hit and miss.
Harry Potter. Like the
All
first.
All the new Harry Potter.
Let's not talk about that this week. that'll be coming up in future episodes of A Spork of Ice and Fire. We will be watching and going over the Harry Potter series. Yeah, it was. I have to say, dude, I out of 5 direwolf breads, I have to say I'm giving it I went 4.25, but I'm giving it a 4.5 after discussing this. I think for a first episode, it definitely beat House of the Dragon. I can't say it equals Game of Thrones season 1, episode 1, because that was just something I wanted to see forever. But it was really, really good for someone who loves that novella. I thought they kept it as book accurate as a show can by turning inner dialogue into somebody else's dialogue. That inner monologue into somebody else's dialogue was brilliant.
Yeah, and there's next to no way for them to mess this up. If they do one good season, that's perfect. They just do the Hedge Knight perfect. Okay, that's fine. They do Hedge Knight,
and then the second
One
season,
Sword
it's all about the women.
Right.
And if you think about it, though, I mean, for them to do this entire series right just means they had to do 3 episodes right in a normal Game of Thrones series. An hour episode versus these half-hour episodes.
Yeah.
True.
So, I mean, I think it's going to be harder for them to truly mess this up.
And I think I saw something somewhere say that George R. R. Martin had outlined 10 more Duncan Egg novellas, and I think he shared them with the showrunner. So maybe
Interesting.
we can just get the show.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't want to
I
think
don't know.
about that.
Makes me nervous,
Because
actually.
didn't he share the beats to Game of Thrones?
Well, I mean, based on that interview he did a couple of days ago, our suspicions were right. He completely changed the entire
Oh my
story
God,
based on what
dude.
happened.
I know it's no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh
see- I
yeah,
didn't-
that
Yeah.
is. I was
Every-
gonna
Wouldn't
do
have
because-
great life.
because of Dan and Dave.
okay.
The 3,000 odd pages of everything that he already had ready to go, he threw it all out.
Yeah, pretty much.
And also he's made it pretty clear that he's killing Tyrion off.
Yeah,
so-
he's rewriting everybody. Oh, and Jon Snow will be back.
Yeah, Jon Snow. Yeah, because
Yeah,
Jon
he gives
Snow's
her a cluck.
definitely
Yeah,
back.
So he said he was going to kill Sansa, and he said, maybe, maybe not.
Okay, where's that article? We're bringing it up. You got a couple
Oh yeah,
minutes.
trust me, this makes me so enraged, and I've got a
Uh,
cardiology appointment tomorrow, so I don't know if this is a good idea.
Ooh,
I was
ooh,
so mad
Teresa.
at that man.
But Tyrion, he said, is not getting a happy ending. He didn't say he was going to
He,
kill
you
him.
know, he said
So-
Tyrion's story is full of tragedy, and I'm not going to change that.
Yeah,
So-
I kind of think that means Tyrion's going to lose his tongue.
Ooh,
And he's
nice.
just going to be mute because
Wait,
like
what
that's
is
the
this?
thing he uses to. That's the thing that defines him. You know, Cersei's her beauty defines her, and she's getting old and losing that, and is going to get replaced by a new queen.
Well, she's also losing her
Jaime
mind.
is sword hand. That's what defines
Mhm.
him. He loses that, and now he's becoming a real knight. Tyrion, I think he's going to lose his tongue and then become. I think he's going to have to.
A silent
Good
sister.
job, like, I think he's going to
that's
serve the
really-
realm somehow, but
That's
not
a
be
really
able to
good
talk back.
analysis.
Very good.
Oh, thanks.
And can we do a quick shout out? I know we
Yes.
said this 1,000 times, but in the novella, when you see Egg, it's like he has a head shaped like
Mm-hmm.
an egg. And in the Game of Thrones, that's how they describe Varys.
Yes.
So for the whole egg is
He's
Varys.
as bold as an egg.
Yep, bald
Yeah.
as egg.
Ah.
And then they mention it again. In this, that's how Egg is introduced. So
But I did think of Stig or Stieg, because he keeps telling me I say it wrong. So I'll keep, he's like, fine, just keep saying Stig. Stieg will definitely point out if he was on this panel, he didn't have the hat on. The first time we meet Egg and the first time we meet Varys, they both have those floppy hats on, like straw hats. And I was shocked he wasn't wearing that straw hat. I was a little upset by that, actually.
Yeah. Am I the only one that read it as Aegon, and now with like House of the Dragon and after reading A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and everyone calls him Egg, and it's Aegon.
Yeah, well, that's what George says. George says there is Aegon, but Egg's name is Aegon.
Really?
Aegon is a name, but it's Aegon. You know how you pronounce it. He's not Aegon, he's Aegon.
That's interesting because in the States, we pronounce egg or egg depending on the region that you're in. Like I remember getting my knuckles
It's a freaking
snapped
egg.
in no, I remember getting my knuckles snapped in 3rd grade when they said, what vowel sound do you hear in the word egg? And I said, well, it all depends on how you pronounce it, egg or egg. And then I was informed there was only one proper way to pronounce it. So
God, I hope they flogged you for it. God. Get that accent out of you.
I tell you, damn
You're-
nuns.
Amen.
And then you started writing left hand, and I thought, oh, devil child.
Oh, I was already left-handed, so that was problem enough.
No wonder you joined the mob.
Yeah,
Wait, you're left-handed too, Tina?
That escalated quickly.
I'm left-handed.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Who-
I'm a
who's-
lefty.
Is anyone right-handed on here?
I am.
Yeah, I'm normal. Oh,
Yeah,
thank God.
I was gonna say, yeah.
God
we
likes
go.
you
Out of 5
guys.
lefties ain't bad.
Oh man, I can't find the article that was in the original one. From what was that?
It was just a few days ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like 3 days ago.
What?
But
Was
yeah,
it
like he said that
Variety?
his relationship with Condell is absolutely abysmal.
variety.
Yay.
Yeah,
We were
Um,
right.
Yeah.
And so yeah, to the point where they even said to him, Don't give him the notes, give us a note. This isn't your show anymore.
Oh,
That's like to hear him say those words. I'm like, that's what we said. Everything
Yeah.
that we were saying had to have been happening.
Yep.
that is just
That
messed
everyone
up.
else was trying to cope, but we don't do cope here.
We don't know. We do cope. I mean, we don't do
Oh.
cope.
I
What?
tried to do cope.
Yeah,
Oh,
Didn't work.
Well,
it's hard.
I've been saying it since 2019. The book's coming this year, so I'm tired of dealing with cope.
Yeah.
So
Well, don't worry. The next Duncan Egg novellas are on the way. George's pausing everything else to work on Duncan Egg.
Oh, there
He
was.
said he was working on the next
Oh.
two. The village
also, the
hero
next one
and
isn't even the.
She-Wolves.
It's not even the she-wolves. No,
Yeah,
in
no,
that
they
one, it
changed
wasn't.
it, right?
It's not
He said-
she-wolves. No.
He said he was working on the village hero and the she-wolves. So he has those like
Yeah.
What the hell is the village
outlined,
hero? He's supposed to be
somewhat
going
written.
up north.
something.
Don't worry, guys. 14 days ago, Sophie Turner said she'd be up for a Game of Thrones return. Show me the money.
Well, she has to because
Just
she's got to
so
pay for that
insufferable.
expensive divorce to the
No,
Jonas
no.
brother.
What an idiot!
Yeah, no
Don't
kidding.
worry, I'm sure
Yeah, like-
Tomb Raider will cover that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
God,
Hey,
Yeah,
you
the
keep a
God-fearing-
Jonas brother. You
Phoebe
keep him for the
Waller-Bridge money.
yeah, he was a God-fearing kid, and is like, I can't stand that. She thought.
Didn't Sophie Turner just like give birth and basically abandon her child? I mean, I got the
Yeah.
impression
Yeah,
that
it was
the
something
dad
crazy
was
like
doing
that.
most of the upbringing.
Yeah,
Well,
she,
he's got majority of custody of 2 of the 3 kids, so
Ah.
so she's got to pay child support, so she needs the money. Though, what's his name? The guy, Kit Harington said he's completely done with Jon Snow as a character. He doesn't want anything to do with it anymore.
Wait a
Well,
minute.
he said that like 10
That's
times
because
already.
yeah, that's because he's in that.
And then he's like, "Oh hey, what if I do a Jon Snow spin-off?"
Well, wasn't he
Well,
the
I'm
other one
glad.
who?
I'm glad they canned that whole idea, doing an old man Logan version of him up there. Like, I'm tired of taking the guy who was a hero and turning him into a bitter old disheveled person just to get him back to where he was at the end of the movie. Like, that was gonna be. He abandoned Ghost. He threw away Ice. Like, I'm like, this is. I don't want to see that.
When did he throw away his sword?
That's what the new series was going to be. It was going to be about him coming back to
Wait a minute,
reality.
he
It's going to be
threw
like an old
along
man Logan.
Longclaw? He threw it
Oh,
away.
Longclaw, sorry. Longclaw, not Ice. Yeah. He got rid of it. He abandoned Ghost.
Yeah,
and just lived in a tent and was miserable.
there is a way to make this Jon Snow spin-off work. Now that pitch was not it, but
No.
No.
that is one thing that I'd be like mildly interested in.
You
Have
know
Make
his
it a
pitch-
buddy
his pitch
adventure
was this.
with
His
him and
pitch was this.
Torbane.
All right, the Jon Snow spin-off. This is what it is. You pay me money and put me on screen, and I won't OD.
Aw.
Oh,
I hope he is still
Oh,
on the wagon, though. I
no.
feel bad for him, though.
oh,
Like,
poor
dude, get back to
bastard.
your meetings.
Yeah, he really needs it.
Well, that didn't work. That idea didn't work for the kid from Glee, so I don't think it'll work for him.
Oh,
Oh, that's dark.
poor kid from Glee.
I shared a link in the private chat that might be the article based on
Okay,
it's something in the Hollywood
Is it
Reporter
based?
that came out 6 days ago.
that's
Sorry.
it. Heavy as the crown. That's the That's the one, people. All right,
There
hold.
you go.
Let's share this. Okay, we got a couple minutes. Do.
Well, did you also hear that recently Kit Harington also complained about
I'll be
people
right back,
bad-mouthing the show, that it like hurts his heart?
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that, and I said, and someone had said in the comments, wait till he hears about the petition to do it with better actors.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, I remember seeing that comment.
It's classic. It's like,
You know why it hurts his heart? Because he worked really hard on those 4 lines that he had for those 2 seasons.
Yeah, McQueen, I don't want it. McQueen.
Yeah, it kind of just shows like a disconnect, because people like loved his performance. They liked him as a character, and that's part of why they wanted to redo it. Like they knew all the hard work going into it from him, but the writing just wasn't there. You know, John just letting these atrocities happen, like letting the North raid King's Landing and watching the Unsullied just murder civilians. It goes against the character that many people fell in love with and loved for.
You're missing the point. The bells rang.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I must have missed that.
That
I'm
was a
sorry.
trigger.
Yeah, just forget it. Yeah. Best season ever.
That will be one of the best quotes, I think, that is going to be remembered of Game of Thrones. Is is Emilia Clarke's best season ever.
That's its legacy now.
Exactly.
The cultural grip that Game of Thrones had, it's just gone. It's just best season ever.
Well, and I wonder, is there a bigger fall from grace than Dan and Dave in the history of this form of entertainment?
Not
have they literally done anything since?
They tried to do that other show about
yeah, Three Body Problem on Netflix was like
Oh,
last year,
that was
2 years ago.
That was so dog shit. It basically had nothing to do with the novels at all. They literally just
Oh,
went,
really?
it's her story now. It's just like,
Jeez. Well, supposedly though that the second season, I didn't watch the first season, but the second season is supposed to be coming out later this year or early 2027.
I think it already came out.
Oh, did
I think
it?
it's the third season. Yeah.
And then
Oh.
they're ending it early because of ratings and stuff. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was
Also, they've got a
Oh,
Star Wars movie to
jeez.
do, so they're gonna, there's no time to
cool.
wrap it up. So they've got to wrap up the last 2 novels in 4 episodes.
No, I
Oh,
think
jeez.
Dave Filoni's going to put quality control on that.
Oh yeah, he's gonna save Star Wars, darn it.
Oh,
Oh,
All right,
that's
I'm back.
crazy.
Sorry about that.
It's all just such a mess. This is why I'm watching old entertainment and BritBox and
BritBox
well-
seems pretty good.
Yeah, well, we've been
Um,
watching epic 1980s movies with my 2 sons that are in their mid-20s, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is what movies were like. They could tell those kind of jokes, and they could be that, specific and spot on with cultural references you couldn't get away with today." And it's just really been a ton of fun.
oh, that's awesome.
Can I say I
Yeah.
love this one here, right here? I'm sorry, I'm jumping right into this. I have to finish
No
the
worries.
next book, Martin fretted. The actual writing is getting harder. I'm rewriting. I'm struggling. Maybe I'm over optimistic about how quickly I can write these
Oh,
things.
for fuck's
I'm
sake.
trying to cut back on anything that I can to clear my desk and get this done. 10 years later. Like, it's so
So-
Brilliant.
It's so perfect.
did any of you guys watch the guy? What's his name? Crusader Chris.
Hmm.
He's
No.
he's a Song of Ice and Fire YouTuber.
No,
and
I
he's
only know
talking about.
Sparky News, but anyways.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's talking about.
Michael knows things.
He said that as far as he knows, that George has a wife and then no kids, no like.
Nothing
Does he have nephews or anything? Nephews,
don't.
nieces?
cares about them if he does.
Because if both of them are gone, who gets the rights to the books? That goes back to the publisher, right?
Yeah, they'll publish something.
Because then they would have full control to, publish just whatever manuscript pages he has, notes, whatever, or could,
He
hire
has
an author
he has a
to
trust group.
finish it.
He mentioned one time that he has a trust group when it comes to his IP and what can and can't be done in the event of his sudden death.
In the books.
Yeah.
Because he
But,
legit says, I sold my soul. I mean, I sold my IP to
Yeah.
HBO in 2007. He lost all control.
But like, how far would that control it? Because that would be like appointing it to his wife after he dies, right?
Uh-huh.
In
I
like
hope-
10,000 years.
So what you're saying is if
live
George
forever,
dies,
George.
you're going to marry his ex-wife?
I'll marry his corpse. I don't know if that made sense, but I'll do it.
He's a little confused, but he's got spirit.
Yeah. Dunk and Egg both faces great Shakespearean jeopardy in Westeros, but there's a lot of humor and heart along the way too, says HBO drama programming head Francesca Orsi or whatever. The show is meant to be very different type. Martin says it turned out very well, and I'm very happy with season 1. The casting was a home run. Showrunner Ira Parker is terrific and seems to have the same priorities I do. He tries to do something that's very true to the characters. Boom. Slap in the face to everybody
Take
else.
that, everyone that's
Actually,
not the
screw
Jew.
y'all, Condal and Dan and Dave and
Like,
I think that's a little bit racist, don't you think? The only one he's saying he's a good bloke is the Jewish fella. I mean, come on. Yeah.
You should like
to be
that.
fair,
You're-
he kind of did the same thing for both shows beforehand. He had a dinner with Dan and Dave and like talked about lore with them
Yeah.
for hours and was like, so who do you think Jon Snow's mother is?
Yeah. All
And
that
they gave an
bullshit.
answer, that he really liked. And then he said, "Oh, don't worry, me and Ryan Condell and Miguel Sapochnik are on the same team. We're working on this together." And then he
That's
sided
the
with
thing.
Ryan.
Sapochnik was the only guy that
Miguel
really had his
out.
back,
Yeah,
and they got rid
and
of
they
him.
got rid of him real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't it be funny though if season 2 they screw him over again? Like yeah,
You
we
could
told
see
you
that,
that.
right?
The first season was great, and then all of a sudden his notes start getting returned to him for season
Yeah.
2.
Okay, well let's
Yeah,
read
Netflix.
this part. Hold on. Martin is nonetheless highly creatively involved on Knight and Dragon. Martin initially conveyed a writing summit at Santa Fe to help figure out the series. I bring the showrunners together with 4 or 5 writers I know, some TV, some fantasy novelists who really know the world, and we assemble for a week, he says. Parker called the summit one of the most fun, creative weeks I've ever had in my whole career, and notes that while writing episodes, George was there every step of the way. He's been lovely. I think of him as a friend now. With a production and scope that's quite modest compared to Thrones and Dragon, Parker admits to worrying about whether fans will embrace it. Why? Because it's not as spectacular. Yeah, calling the show smaller, smarter,
No
funnier.
dragons.
Yeah. Oh man! At the end of the day, we are Game of Thrones without all the stuff. We have one of the ingredients: 2 unusual characters like Arya and the Hound, or Brienne and Podrick, who are paired together and having conversations. I hope that's what made Thrones work. It's a big part of what it was for me, and that's for him to say that. That's huge. Like the biggest parts were the characters interacting, and I think that's huge. Oh, George has 2 sisters.
Well,
where do we get to like
take
all
one
the
for
good
team
shit?
and marry him.
Okay, there is one of the show's future. The big issue is that I have only written 3 novellas, and I have a lot more stories about Duncan Egg in my fucking head. I've got to get them down on paper. I began writing 2 at various points in the past year. One is set in Winterfell, and one is set in the Riverlands. And oh, George, I say not again. Yeah, that's all right. I'll give you that. Where's like the good shit he gets into?
Does he have any? He doesn't have any other books or anything that can be adapted at the moment, does he? So he's going to have to write something else. What else could they adapt?
The whole
stories from
world of
The
Ice and
whole
Fire.
whole first part of Fire and Blood.
Yeah,
World
but
of
do
Ice and
the
Fire.
Aegon's Conquest movie, and then maybe do a Sons of the Dragon spin-off. Just start doing that.
But okay, I'm saying if they're going to adapt the Blood and Fire books, he's already been basically non grata with that. He's going to have nothing to do with that. I'm trying to say, is there anything else that he's that he can adapt that he could actually be a part of?
Well, he has other books he could sell. Like he has what is it? Fever Dream, yeah. Sand Snakes.
I've been reading Fever Dream for like a year and a half now, and as far as
What's
I've gotten,
Fever
it's
Dream?
really good.
It's
It's a
his,
vampire story
yeah.
in New Orleans.
It's like
So it's nothing to do with the Song of Ice and Fire.
no.
Correct.
No, I'm saying within the Song of Ice and Fire stuff. But then again, yeah, he might actually go outside of it. I mean, he was talking about writing the 2nd and 3rd game for freaking what is it, Elder Scrolls, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his card game? Wild Cards.
So real quick, I'm sorry. So the Jon Snow show was going to be about him chasing off ghosts and throwing away his long claw. Jon spent his time building cabins and burning them back down again. Harrington also wanted Jon to die to avoid being a hero. HBO found broken Jon Snow idea to be too much of a bummer. Eventually pushed it aside. That is so sad.
Wow.
But people have been talking about reviving that sequel. So, and then one about Arya Stark also.
Yeah.
He's
saying he's wanting to write more Duncan Egg novellas because the show is coming out. But he's like wanting to do it for all these projects and like make a bunch of money and stuff. But if he wanted to like work on his legacy and make a lot more money, him writing the next 2 A Song of Ice and Fire books and then letting them reboot it would be like incredibly massive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if he can't write it, then hire someone else to write it and don't tell us. Ghost
Mhm.
Exactly.
write for him.
Oh, I like this. Listen to this part. Martin had made something else consistently. Let me try that one more time. Martin has made something else consistently clear. He believes book adaptations, not just his own, should be faithful as possible. Martin is childless and has said he considers his characters to be his children. If another writer wants to make a major change to one of his brood or remove one from a story altogether, House of the Dragon,
Nettles.
yeah, the young prince, he wants to know why, and the reason should make sense.
But
Knight,
he
well,
also
Parker,
signed off
yeah,
on he
no,
also
go ahead,
signed
buddy.
off on race swapping all the Valerians,
Right.
which adds in a lot of problems. It makes sense in House of the Dragon as a show, but as like lore
You said
wise,
he signed off on that.
yeah, he
Yeah,
had
I
to.
think he said to save face. He has no control over the shows, man. They could do whatever they want. They could do almost whatever they want with his characters.
He worked with Ryan Condell for the pitch for House
Uh-huh.
of the Dragon. That would have to be in it.
I don't know. Seemed pretty pissed off going into season 1 towards the end of it. I don't know. Really, season 2 drove him nuts. I know that, but
yeah. As far as I remember, he was happy with season 1. He said it was great. Viserys, this is better than mine. He's the definitive one.
Well, he was.
Yeah.
I do like that Parker says that Martin, he suspects Martin leaning on HBO and showrunners to respect his vision is one reason why these shows have done so well, and that the author has been nothing but a benefit. In my very first meeting with George, before I officially had the job, I promised I wouldn't put anything in that he didn't want, but it's never come to that. He's pushed back on a lot of things. I just explained the reason why, and I want to do something, and then he would explain his reasons why I'm an idiot. I fucking love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I asked Martin carefully, I know you can't say much about this, but I was wondering how your relationship with Dragon showrunner Ryan Condell got so rocky. It's worse than rocky, Martin says, looking miserable. It's abysmal. Without getting into that's fucking awesome. I hired Ryan, Martin says. I thought Ryan and I were partners, and we were all through the first season. I would read early drafts of scripts. I would give notes. He would change some things. It was working really well, I thought. When Ryan came to logheads with original Dragon co-runner Miguel Spotnik, Ryan asked for Martin's support in their dispute and got it, which I didn't know. I didn't know he helped kick Spotnik.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that he helped kick him out. There was he backed what he wanted, his vision and what he was saying for it, and then Condor went back on that vision. That's why George was so pissed off about it.
Well, he says then we got into season 2 and he basically stopped listening to me. I would give notes and nothing would happen. Sometimes he would explain why he wasn't doing it. Other times he would tell me, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll think about that." It got worse and worse, and I began to get more and more annoyed. Finally, it got to a point where I was told by HBO that I should submit all my notes to them, and they would give Ryan our combined notes.
Ugh.
F you, Ryan Condell. F
like
freaking you, bro.
Backstabber.
Yeah, what a piece of shiznit.
You see, people have been pointing the finger at the wrong person. I've been seeing so much grief being given to Sarah Hess, and I'm not excusing what she did.
Oh yeah, but she's a woman, so
Ryan Condell, though, he's the one in charge.
Yes, he is.
And I don't know why people were trying to give him a pass and saying, "Oh, it's all Sarah Condell." It's like he's a showrunner. So,
Yeah.
And he is a great villain of it all, and I'm glad that Martin's come out and let us know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
as
I
I've
don't
been
know. It's bullshit. It's all like this Condell dude is. I'm done. I'm done. And all the people that fought so hard about Star Wars and fought so hard about Marvel can't get mad at me because it's just a show, dude. Same people that fought with us with Star Wars and fought with us, like to fight the man. I
Oh,
can't
who are you
believe they
talking about
back.
specifically? Let's
Yeah,
tag him.
a couple people. I can't believe they like talk down to us because we don't like House of the Dragon season 2. I backed season 1. I thought it was really good, except for coming through the fucking dragon pit. But like, and could end the war, but it wasn't her place to. I thought that was stupid. But season 2 was abysmal. It was abysmal. Good word, George. And I'm just hoping this now, like we get to see what George is the potential of having George as a partner in something. Because we saw that in season 1, 2 of House of the Dragon, or I'm sorry, Game of Thrones. And then you start seeing in season 4 towards the end the changes Dan and Dave wanted to make. And then they effed it all up. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Martin had unleashed his own red wedding. An upset exec had called Martin's manager, who phoned Martin's assistant, who took down the post. I freaking loved that post, though. Remember that? He was
best thing
pissed.
ever.
I wanted to hear about.
Beware the butterfly.
Yeah.
Well, when he was talking about episode 1 and 2, and then he was going to do one about. Yeah, he was going to do 2 and 3, or I'm sorry, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and then 7 and 8. I think they had 7 and 8.
Well, here's the thing. I want him to do that. I want him to at least write something, even if it is just another cool, part 1 or 2 or 3. But it's typical George. He'll leave us hanging on this. We'll never get the rest of this blog. We'll never get the rest of Dunk. It's only ever going to be part 1 of, Fire and Blood.
Yeah. Well, everybody who's excited. Oh, and thank you, E Clay. I'm sorry, E Clay with a poop. Hey, 99 cents, brother. Let me just say this. Season 3, George has declared for House of the Dragon, this is not my story any longer.
Nope.
So I hope you guys really enjoy that show, because we'll be covering it here and we'll be destroying it, because I know it's going to suck. And
we told you so.
We told you so. And I'll take you guys back. You can come on my show and apologize. It's fine.
But we only told you so after season 2, because we enjoyed season 1.
I freaking loved season 1. I thought it was, Viserys blinded me.
Oh yeah, but like from the beginning of season 2, it was off, and
right away.
We were like only one of the few people saying it. It seems like everyone else was trying to.
Even the blood and cheese thing didn't necessarily bother me all that much until you sit back and you think about it. You're just like, the way in which that they did it, was designed to be more of a shock value and take away from the moment and be more all about, the Queen's banging someone.
Yeah, but it was.
I remember
also,
even when it happened. It was. I joked about it. I went, he's going to walk in and Cole's going to be banging. Like, I said it out loud, and then it happened, and I'm just like, what?
You know what bothered me is they also like tried to make them comedic. There was moments where blood and cheese, and blood, whatever you want to call them, they were comedic in the show. Like, how do you set a trap? Like, what?
Well, yeah, blood. Literally 2 nights prior to that, he bludgeoned a prostitute to death because he wasn't satisfied with her.
Yes. I don't know. Yeah, I love Condell a year before this because he didn't want to make a statement. I made every effort to include George in the adaptation process. I really did. But at some point, he just became unwilling to acknowledge the practical issues at hand in a, hundreds of $1 million series. We couldn't afford it. I just have to keep marching forward for the sake of the crew, the cast, and for HBO, because that's my job. I can only hope that George and I can rediscover the harmony someday. You are a prick. You are such a prick.
Issues. What a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, practical issues aren't leaving out Nettles, like one of the most important characters for the end of Daemon's story.
Oh, yeah, but there's another black character, so they're all the same.
Yeah, racist.
Let's just trade one out.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the dumbest mentality ever. It's like, you have like, I remember going into it, I was saying Nettles was the character I was looking forward to seeing the most.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome, and yeah, just taking away the fact that Damon was supposed to be leading all these battles and things, and instead they just have him tripping out and acting like a whiny little bitch.
Right.
Well, they
None of
Geralted
it-
him.
and
That's
none
the
of
thing.
it
They
meant
Geralted
growth.
him.
None of it-
They had him standing at an abyss for 5 episodes, like they did with Geralt and Witcher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got to say this. He was growing at least through these trips off of mushrooms and mushroom soup, I think. And
Oh,
or
don't
maybe
mention
licking a toad,
mushroom.
maybe making mushroom. But at the very end, it was a vision given to him through the weirwood tree, through a dragon dream. Don't explain that to me.
Yep.
That made him realize, oh, I just have to follow her because she's the queen.
Yeah,
Miss
it's like,
Spork.
what the fuck?
Yeah. All right. Here's some good stuff to read. We're talking about that audience at the Worldcon when the fan asked him if he's going to get the book at Winds of Winter because you're not going to be around for much longer. The audience booed. Martin felt like he'd been slapped. When he looked online to see the reaction, he was dismayed to find some fans saying he deserved it. They said, he lied to us. He's going to die soon. Look how old he is. Look, I don't hope George dies, but he did kind of lie to us about working on this. And Martin says, even now, months later, the author looked rattled. I really didn't need that shit. Nobody needs that shit. Truth. I'll give you that, George. Martin recently has endured losing a wave of fellow novelists. Yeah, he has lost a lot of friends. He sat down with one of his idols, Robert Redford, who was a fellow executive producer on Dark Winds. Redford came out of acting retirement to film a brief cameo in the show with Martin. In the scene, the two are sitting at a chessboard and Redford ad-libbed a line, George, the whole world is waiting. Make a move. It was a meta joke about how long it's taken for Win. Then Redford died too. His chess scene with Martin, like something out of The Seventh Seal, was a final performance, which just seems so effing weird. So when are we going to get it, George? I look back at the books too. Martin admits, I don't know how I did it. Well, when are you going to do it? Martin says he's around 1,100 manuscript pages finished. He also said he's been saying that number for a while. He long has blamed the endless distractions, which he created, from full-time author to a producer and celebrity. Oh, you're such a prick.
I was going to oh, you're breaking my heart.
You know what I mean? Let's see. Where's that good stuff?
Oh, he just said something about bullshit and cowardice or something a bit further up. Sorry, I just saw the word bullshit in there. I'm good at spotting swear words in articles.
Yeah.
So halfway down that thing. Yeah. Oh, you're going past it.
Yeah, it's down farther, you're saying?
Right there. About bullshit changes. So
okay.
halfway down the article, yeah.
Yeah, bullshit changes. He's talking about how Hollywood would screw up your script, and that's why he deliberately wrote Ice and Fire to be sprawling epic that would be unfilmable. You know, and that the result has sold more than 100 million copies of the book. Today, Martin works on Winter at his old house, which serves as his office. Yeah, it's kind of, he recently moved his primary residence to another Santa Fe property. First of all, he lived across the street from his old office. It was another house. So I don't know how recent that moved. He must move somewhere else too. On his DOS computer, not connected to the internet, because, you know, if that crashes, he'll be able to retrieve it. Let's see what else we have. I will open the last chapter I was working on. Oh, here we go.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah, he sits down to write. I will open the last chapter I was working on, and I'll say, "Oh fuck, this is not very good," and I'll go in and I'll rewrite it, or I'll decide this Tyrion chapter is not coming along. Let me write a Jon Snow chapter. If I'm not interrupted, though, what happens? At least in the past, it's sooner or later. I do get it. I do get into it. Huh? You know,
was that him confirming that he's writing Jon Snow chapters at the moment, or is he just throwing out a random name just as an example?
No,
Jon
Snow's freaking alive, dude. How do you?
Yeah.
if you were thinking at all, Mason, you would not say Jon Snow.
Yeah, it's crazy for him to just confirm it like this. And he didn't say to this guy that he's been interviewed by several times. He didn't say like, "Hey, like, can you scratch that out? Put somebody else in there." He just let it go.
He doesn't know how to read a room, and how can one man be so smart and so stupid at the same time?
Yeah, I don't get it.
So you guys think Jon Snow's fire white now, or you think he just decided not to kill him? He was bleeding out, and then somebody saved him.
Yeah, I actually think, as dumb as that later statement is, based on how it was initially described, because he also said another thing. He said, people are saying he died 10 years ago, and he's like, who said that he's dead? Who said that he died?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, so he was wounded, but he actually survives, so he can just basically be he doesn't get brought back to life. Or
He
whatever
just
it is.
survives.
He just
He's
survives.
dead. He's dead in the snow. The last words he says.
Hey, have you seen
Oh.
Dexter? Snow can slow down the bleeding.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, especially when you get shot in the heart, like Dexter.
Yeah, exactly.
Melisandre
It's
is
just a
there.
flesh wound.
Yeah.
Melisandre is there, so like,
Yeah.
she
He'll
can,
be fine.
cauterize his wounds and
Kill a princess, whatever. He also writes this though. He says this. I wrote. Even Martin's forced isolation effort ran into creative troubles. I wrote a Tyrion chapter I just loved, he recalls. Then I looked at it and said, I can't do this. It will change the whole book. I'll make this into a series of dreams. No, that doesn't work either. I asked Martin if he ever considered simply giving up on the books. It's your life, George. I say, you don't have to spend it working on something if you find it torturous. I would hate that, Martin says. It would feel like a total failure to me. I want to finish. It wouldn't feel like a total failure. No disrespect, George. It would be. It would be. It would be disgusting. Handing the project to another writer, which some fans have lobbied for him to do, isn't going to happen. There is also no secret contingency plan for somebody else to take over if Martin gets struck by lightning. If that happens, my work won't be finished, he says. It'll be like the Mysteries of Edwin Drood, referring to Charles Dickens' unfinished final novel. F you, George. How much further does he have to go? Martin's vague. If I wound up doing everything in my head, this could be the longest book in the series. After asking Martin repeatedly about when seemingly more than he liked, the author did what he does best. He tells a story.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, shit. In 1975, Martin met Dune author Frank Herbert at the book convention, and they shared a drink. The meeting was near the end of Herbert's life, Martin says. Herbert had written many acclaimed novels, but all his fans seemed to want was more Dune. Herbert's publisher had just offered him a modest advance for a story he wanted to write, or 6 times that number for another Dune volume. He didn't like Dune anymore. He didn't want to write any more Dune books, Martin says, but he felt locked in by the success of Dune, so he kept writing them. Martin finishes and waits. I asked, do you relate to how Herbert felt? I'm not necessarily tired of the world of Ice and Fire. I love the world and I love the world building, but yes, I do. So he's tired of it. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah. So kind to his fans.
Yeah. Martin's thoughts turn unprompted to the end of Ice and Fire. It became clear that the details of his story's conclusion, like so much of the saga, remain uncertain. I was going to kill more people, he muses, not the ones they killed in the show. They made it more of a happy ending. I don't see a happy ending for Tyrion. His whole arc has been tragic from the first. I was going to have Sansa die, but she's been so appealing in the show. Maybe I'll let her live. That's
like,
it.
what the hell, man?
Yeah. And then yes, what are you going to do for Christmas? I don't know. I think I'll stay home. I have to write more Duncan Egg. There's supposed to be another Fire and Blood book too. I do think I can just get some of these other things off my back. Wait a minute. I do think if I can just get some of these other things off my back, I can finish the Winds of Winter pretty soon. It's been made clear to me that wins is the priority, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for that. I'm so far behind on everything. This prick told us that was his number one priority. This guy right here that we made rich and famous, that was his number one priority back in what, 2014, 2016, 2018, 2020, 2021, 22, 24. And now he's trying to tell us, I'll get these other things done first.
Yeah.
Wow. George, what happened to you, man? 77. I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. Yeah, if he's tired of it, hand it off to someone he trusts. Someone who cares. I don't know. That's rough.
Like who?
He doesn't trust anybody with his stuff. He's too arrogant. Not arrogant. Maybe that's the wrong word. But it's his baby.
Pride.
And, prideful.
The worst kind of pride.
Worst type of sin.
The deadly sin, pride.
It is.
And
just think about that.
Oh, I thought he was doing gluttony.
Well, gluttony doesn't affect us unless, I don't want to say something unkind.
Come on.
Unless it brings him closer to his death, and then it will affect us.
It will.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I just keep comparing him to Robert Jordan, who learned he had a devastating illness, and all he could think about his last year of his life was making sure that his fans got a proper ending to his book, and he left behind notes. He verbally told, this is where this scene is going to happen and that. And in the same blog where he announced that he had a life-threatening illness, which ended up taking his life like 18 months later, he said, I assure you, I'm not going to forget you. I'm not going to forget my books. I'm going to give you the ending to the story. That's Robert Jordan.
Did he know that Sanderson was going to finish?
He didn't know Sanderson had. He said that someone else was. He gave permission and said that was his wish to do so. And his wife was the one who found Sanderson.
So,
in all fairness, if he survived, he would have died after he'd seen season 1 of his TV series. That would have killed him.
Yeah, that's true. But there's a difference too. Who does George point out? Not him. He points out Herbert. Dune was complete. He just kept adding on to Dune. This series is not complete. That's the big difference, George. You're trying to make us perceive it as forcing you to add on.
He's being semantical because remember he was only going to do 3 books.
Yeah, that was his decision, right? What pisses me off is this. Okay, don't do Fire and Blood chapter 2 because none of us give a shit. Don't do any more Duncan eggs.
Do.
It would suck. It would suck if we didn't get more Duncan eggs. But I care. I don't care. If I had to give up Duncan egg, and Fire and Blood to get the ending that we deserve, A Dream of Spring, like a really good 2 books.
Oh no, you're asking too much. I think if you give up everything else, you probably get half of Winds of Winter.
Just give me all of Winds of Winter. I'll deal with it. I'll use AI to finish the rest. I just need to know how Winds of Winter ends. Because that, to me, Winds of Winter, and then it's the scouring of the Shire, or however you say that. That'll be Dream of Spring. I don't know. But we're going to wrap it up, guys. Any last thoughts? We'll start with you, Mr. Grant Gregory. Are optimistic for this season?
Yeah, I think with Ira Parker and everything in his admiration for George, as long as George doesn't overstep the boundaries and basically try and strong arm him in season 2, or HBO says, you know what, you've done such a great job, you're fired. Yeah, I think it should be good. My only concern is I'm worried about the editing, whether that was supposed to be in there or if that's just a post decision that was made. Because as they said, the guy who played young Dunk, that was all shot after the series already happened. So that's what I'm like. Did they watch and they go, it's not funny enough, let's add something into it? So they added all those scenes in where he was getting beaten. But yeah, obviously it's gonna get more gritty. There's one character I'm really looking forward to, to seeing, which we should see him next episode, hopefully. Because if it's any later than that, then the pacing's way off.
Right.
And yeah, hashtag dunk bum. Here we go.
Yeah, dunk bomb.
Mhm.
All right. How about you, Mason?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. It is better than I was expecting. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Yeah, that's all I got.
I love you, man.
Oh, you got to end it with hashtag dunk bum. That's our thing now.
Yeah. But I love Mason.
Hashtag Dunkabum.
I love Mason because he's usually like very eloquent. He thinks about what he says, and there he's like, "You caught me off guard, dude." But he only needs 18 more subs, everybody. So make sure you subscribe to Mason, Free Folk of the Fandom, so we can get him over 100. Jesus, it's been like 3 years. Let's do this, people. It's not fair to him. It makes me look bad because I've been like trying to get him subs, and I just don't. I don't have the clout. What am I talking about? All right, Teresa, what do you think?
Well, as I said at the beginning of this thing, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I mean, it's so rare that I look at something and I just enjoy every minute of it, except for the 3 seconds that I want them to edit out of the crap, the literal crap. But I think it's fantastic so far. I love Dunk. I love Egg. And I can't wait to see Baelor break spear. I really can't. And there's just so many things I just can't wait to
Quite
see.
excited.
And it's very rare that you have that. And since we're in January, the blues, if you will, of the post-holiday blues, it's nice to have a series to get us all to band around and enjoy the Sunday scaries, before everyone has to go back to work. Well, now we've got another reason to look to Sunday night and maybe something a little more positive.
Amen to that. Bad takes.
You forgot to say hashtag dunk bum.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She's anti-dunk bung.
I'm okay with it, but
All right.
Oh, too funny. Knowing the battle that culminates this entire book, and not having read the book, I'm expecting the last episode or episode and a half, depending on how it is that it's shot. This needs to be the most epic thing I've ever seen. This needs to make Battle of the Bastards seem like child's play. I mean, I want to see just the plain murderous violence of everything in this scene. So I'm kind of hoping for that. So I don't know if that's holding them up to high of an expectation. But.
So what you're really saying is,
and it is a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so, having said that, I want me some glory hole.
That pretty much nails it. Okay.
Absolutely. Hashtag dunk bum.
Dunk bum. Yeah. Second,
yeah, it's a thing now.
Before I forget, tomorrow I'm going to do an unboxing video. Sean sent more stuff. He just keeps sending stuff, and I freaking love it. But Mrs. Spork is like, okay, tell him to slow down a little bit. I was like, how can I? The guy's so nice. So thank you, Sean. I will do a video tomorrow,
awesome.
And I know there'll be some Tina stuff in there too. I'll get that out as soon as possible. Maybe one of my
and I owe Sean a video. I owe Adam a video because I got something from him. My husband wants to know who all my lovers are. So so keep them gifts coming. So
all right. And for me, and make sure you guys please, Miss Martin Muses, check out her channel. Tina's, Grant's, and Mason, they've all been in the comments. Teresa, when do you have your next live stream? Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to be continuing with going through Harry Potter. Now that I've got done with the Hedge Knight, which this is all based upon, and also maybe some different musings, as I always like to do. And I have my January challenge where you can watch detective things, and the Fistful of Dollars is also going to be upcoming.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so I can't wait till they ruin the show. Thank you very much for being here. Check out Mason, of course, Grant, massive channel, and Bad Bad Takes, if she does a video or something, we'll make sure that we link
Bad
it.
Tokes. That's a different channel.
Bad Takes,
Oh,
man.
love it.
But I want to say the show is amazing. For a first episode, really got me excited to see what's going to happen this season. I think, like we said, the actors at the moment seem perfect. And I also think the one you're talking about, Grant, is going to be badass too. He seems like just the right amount of prick. So it's going to be good. And I just thank everybody. We'll be here every Tuesday night. Should we do Tuesday or Monday? Is Tuesday fine with you guys? I feel like I'm too far away from the Sunday show, but I don't want to keep switching it. So we'll keep it Tuesday. So we'll be your review after the review after review. And I promise I won't check out any other reviews before we do our review. Because I don't want people to like get in my head about stuff. I just like to look at it myself. But thank you, everybody. I hope you all have a great night and be safe. And don't forget,
Hashtag
dunk bun.